Okay, hello. Looks like the microphone is actually working for the moment, so yay. This is a special Arcade Spirits election night stream because I am, quite frankly, absolutely terrified of the potential ramifications of this election. If I'm not going to get into details anymore because I will start freaking out. Basically, I'm hoping for change, and since there's nothing much I can do more at this point, having voted, having done everything that I can, I'm trying to distract myself. So that's why we're here with Arcade Spirits, because it's comfy and cozy, and hopefully we'll get to hug Percy a little bit more. I would like that. So anyway, welcome. Hopefully, uh, gosh, I just noticed how I look with my headphones down around my neck. That is not a good look. Okay, so let's just get into the game then. Hopefully, there we go. Okay, and game. So far, so good. And pop out chat. And if over the course of any of the stream, if there are any audio problems, which happened last time I tried to stream this game, please let me know. I will do my best to fix them, and if I can't, then I'll find something else to do to distract us all. We are loading. Yes, we are loading. Thank you. And from October 13th. Goodness, has it been that long? Yeah, because last week, I've been doing this once a week, and last week went roboty. Okay. Oh, and it would help if I switched the Goram output, wouldn't it? There we go. Theoretically, you should be getting game audio. So sorry. Part of the charm of streaming on a Mac is that you have to set up special sound capture things. So much fun. Oh, and also, by the way, uh, because it's election night, I am drinking my cream soda and Frangelico. So, not to excess. It's just I felt like I needed something. Um, and since it's not straight booze, then well, it's much more fun, and um, also providing some slight hydration. So, here we go. It is the future year, 20, and my dreams come true. Well, okay, let's be honest. If you asked me 2 months ago if my dream involved being the event coordinator at a video arcade, I'd have stared at you kind of funnily. Even now it sounds ridiculous. But it's true. I'm here. I'm successful. I'm happy. And this is my dream. Ever since Wyverns and Wigs, business has been booming. Contracts has been happening. Stinking days. Nostalgia games they remember. We've run 3 events so far. We started rotating our games out of storage and into play to keep things fresh. The high scoreboards are constantly shifting. In fact, things are going so well. Gavin's hinted that maybe we should start looking into a second location. But this will always be home. Seeing the smiles on coworkers and gamers alike, watching my friends laugh and play in good spirits, that's working for me. And it's bringing me joy in turn. I won't argue why. I barely understand why. I'm happy. And that's better than I've been in years of going with the flow. Going with the flow never brought me this much enjoyment. I'd say by this point, I've soundly broken the family curse. No, don't say that, you're jinxing yourself. Maybe everything doesn't have to fall apart from under me. Maybe I can just be happy? Maybe this is where I'm meant to be. Sign here, please. Huh? A bicycle messenger nudges a slim envelope my way again, trying to catch my attention. I'm snapped out of my happy little trance immediately. Oh, right, no problem. After jotting down my signature, he drops off the envelope and heads right on out the door. No time for Rupee or a round of pinball, it seems. Deliveries to make. Yeah, people are working. Curious, I open it up. Ari Carter, you are cordially invited to dine and discuss business matters at Dekka's Palace with CEO Dekka Nami. Oh, I remember Nami. I think very, very fancy clothing. Very impressive, actually. Meeting time will be 7 in the evening, sharp. You may bring a guest of your choosing. That's going to be personal, of course. Free Royal Values flight card for enjoyment fees prior to meeting. What? I read through it a few more times, trying to parse out the curlicues and swirls and swishes. Although that doesn't clear up my confusion of the whole matter. Soon, Francine looks up from the meeting, curious about the matter as well. Although she seems to already have an idea of what it says. I suppose it's about that time, isn't it? Huh?
Oh, dear.
Time for that fellow to make another attempt at wooing me. Double, huh? Yes, Tilly, I know it is shocking. Someone would be headhunting Ari. Yes, I know. Sorry, 1 moment, please.
Tilly, this really much for me to look at you. Yes, you do. Good girl. Good girl, yes. Good girl, Tilly.
All right. So, did we actually say the double huh? I don't know. But I'm going to say it again in case I didn't. Double huh? Rather, wooing my beloved Funplex. Let me guess. Dekka Unami of Dekka's Palace sent you a fancy invitation with all sorts of fancy writing. That's accurate, yes. It's not the first time. He invited my dear Frederick and me, over in 1980 to talk about selling the Funplex, and we turned him down flat. Then, in 19... when home game consoles were poised to take back the arcade crowd, he suggested we sell. We turned him down. Now it's 20, and he's at it again. A gentleman with no wind to quit. But he's got tenacity, and can't fault him for that. Why would a big-time arcade operator like Dekka Nami care that much about us? A small town. No offense. Come now, if anyone should be offended, it's you, calling yourself small town. You put in so much work to make my little arcade soar. I bet that's why he's knocking on our door again. With thriving, that's lured him back in. Like Gruyere cheese in the mousetrap. So, wait, are we the cheese or the trap?
My, oh my.
That depends on how clever you are, my dear. Oh, God, we're doomed. Right, so I'm the cheese. Though I prefer to be a nice mozzarella. Cheese types aside, do you want me to ignore the invite then? Oh, heavens, no. Contrary to what people say about the fellow, he is... Oh, crap. Well, we'll never know what he is. Because I accidentally clicked on the screen. He's... Contrary to what people say about the fellow, he's definitely something. Okay, that was elegant. Moving on. I thought he was like the arcade scene's greatest evildoer.
Let's be sensible.
That's a bit grandiose, no? Certainly plenty of rumors of his questionable methods about me, but that's all they are. Rumors. Politeness should be met with. politeness. That's how you conduct proper business, and that's what the Funplex is all about. Francine moves to rise from her seat near the screen desk, but pauses, leaning heavily on the glass countertop while constrained. Oh no! We must protect Francine! I move to help, but she waves me away and sits back down. Oh, don't worry about little old me. I just stood up too quickly. That's all. Just out of breath. Oh, no, we're going to lose Francine. No. Oh, no. Don't tell me that she's going to die at the end and leave the Funplex to us. I don't want her to die. No. Okay, but I think it'd be best if you go in my stead. Me? Let's be serious now. These old bones aren't as spry as they once were. Who's are? I'm not going to make a pun about bones. And I think you'd have a good time there. Well, an interesting time, at any rate. I'll look my dapperest for the boneless gentleman. You can count on me. I'll represent Funplex, or shouldn't Gavin go here next me? I don't normally do the smiley face options, but I think I'm kind of feeling the dapperest for the villainous gentleman. Feeling like I want to be dapper. Then I shall don my Sunday's best to make the moustache-twirling ruffian of arcade legend with pride. It's not that upscale, dear. No matter what glitz deckers on your favors. They still sell cheap beer by the pitcher and rarely scrape gum from under the tables. So go there and turn them down. Got it. The slowness of the response is a bit concerning. I trust you to make the right decision for everyone, which is to not sell Funplex, right?
But I don't feel that's my call to make anymore, dear.
Oh, good heavens. Okay. Not her call to make anymore. Yes, I agree, Tilly. It is very distressing. Yes. Thank you. Good moment, sorry.
Tilly Monster. What are you doing, Tilly?
Tilly Monster needs to knock it off, dear. Okay? Thank you. Such a good girl. Such a good silly girl, yes. Okay, thank you. She doesn't feel it's that cold.
Maybe you haven't noticed, but I spend most of my time at home these days. Or napping. Or napping at home.
It's 2020. That's what a hell of a lot of people have been doing. Working from home, or napping at home.
The Funplex isn't really about me. Not anymore. It's so much more than Francine's Arcade Funplex now. It's about you. It's about your co-workers. It's about all our regulars. You've made me realize that. And I'm thankful.
This is your dream as well as mine. Your kingdom is mine to rule, but seriously, I wasn't trying to take over your home, Francine. This is your dream as well as mine, I think. That's supportive, but also saying, yes, I'm invested in it. Because I don't think she's implying that we were trying to take it over. I don't get that sense. This is your dream as well as mine. You're the one that started this place, Francine. I would dream of a place where people can have fun, relax, and make friends. I feel like even entertaining the idea of selling it is feels wrong. Disrespectful to you, your dream. Oh, you're a peach, dear. But times are always changing. I'm an old fuddy-duddy stuck in her ways. Nothing wrong with being old, and that doesn't mean you're a fuddy-duddy. Maybe the time's come to change how the Funplex does things. And you can be part of that still. We're almost back to the heyday of 1980, thanks to the changes you've made. So, I won't say you can't decide to sell. If it's a change you think we need, do it. Please keep an open mind. That's going to be rather hard because I don't think we should sell. No, I like us being independent. Francine sighs deeply, looking more tired than usual. Oh no, we're gonna lose Francine. Oh, it's only afternoon and I'm already worn out. Haven't even done anything but sit here and knit all day. Well, knitting requires a lot of concentration. I mean, even if it's just plain stockinette, then, you know, still moving, you're keeping busy, and your mind is engaged as well as your hands. Don't downplay knitting. Thank you, Ari. Knitting takes a lot of concentration. That's not nothing. See, Ari agrees with me. If you're feeling cooked, you could take a few days off. Go home, get some rest. All the same, I'd rather come in for work tomorrow, even if there's little work for me to do. I love being here. This is my true home. And yet you want me to keep an open mind about this deal.
Like I've told you, life can be a difficult series of trade-offs.
Sweetie,
What I want and what should be
Tilly.
are often different things.
Everything is fine. So sorry. Alrighty then.
I'm relying on you to do right by everyone I love. If selling is in their best interest to keep this dream going, so be it.
That's no pressure. No pressure at all. No, I'm not going to freak out.
No
about
matter
that.
what you decide, I'm proud of you. I knew there was something special about you when I hired you to replace my grandson. You are the brightest spirit at the Funplex. And while we may not be blood, I'm happy to consider you part of my family.
Oh, Francine. I'm not calling her the grandma I never had. Nope. Francine, you have my sincere thanks. Does that mean I can borrow the car, Mom? I'll defend the Funplex with my life. Wouldn't your real family object to that? Tilly, sweetie. Tilly, could you knock it off, please? Seriously? It's okay. I know. There are neighbors moving around. God forbid. Oh, goodness. So sorry. Tilly, Tilly. Oh, sweetie. Sweetie. You need to knock it off here. Yes, you do. Thank you. Can you just keep that thought for maybe an hour? And then speak again and you'll deal with it again. Okay? Okay. All right. Okay, actually, the grandma I never had is close-ist, kind of. Because I don't want to be flippant and say, can I borrow the car, Mom? I'll defend the Funplex with my life is slightly overdramatic. Even if true, yeah, that's kind of a little bit too much. Real family is what you make of it. Real family includes found family. Sincere thanks or grandma I never had. Well, she does compare me to her grandson, so I'm going to go with grandma, I guess. Don't like reminding her of the age, or underlining the age thing, but the sincere thanks does not really indicate I reciprocate the family feeling toward you. of them. They died when I was really young. I feel like you've filled that role. You've become the grandmother I never had, Miss Francine. Thank you. Thank you so much. Welcome home, Mari. You will always be welcome here. Okay, I'm starting to wonder if Tilly does not like my voice at Francine. Teapot. What do you not get to fuck off? That was a naughty hour. It was like 2 minutes. Sweetie. Sweetie? Oh, Thank you. Thank you very much. Good girl, Tess. Good boy, Miss. Yes, I know. Okay. Returning to the story. Yes. Because now Molesy is barking, of course. Molesy? Sweetie? Thank you. She doesn't want to play right now. Sorry. Okay. Alrighty then. Moving on. With another deep sigh, Francine eases herself out of her chair. Now, I think I'll take your suggestion and head on home. Well, for today, anyway. I'll be here bright and early in the morning to hear how things went with Mr. Nami. I know you will make the right decision. No pressure there, of course not. Good night, Ari. Be well. Make the right decision. Okay. Nope, still not keen to sell at my dream. I'll try to leave my options open, or not. Arcades can't stagnate, maybe change is inevitable. Not going with the can't stagnate. Ordinarily, I would pick the first option. But Francine requested that I have an open mind, and I respect Francine's opinion enough to do that, or at least to try. I think I'm still biased toward not selling, but yeah, I respect Francine, and I will take her advice. This is weird. Seriously weird. Yes, it is. Tilly thinks so too. Thank you, Tilly. Tilly? Sweetheart. Yes, dear. I know it's a very tense evening, but we need to knock it off and focus on other things, okay? Good girl. Yes. All this work, all this effort. Finally finding my dream. Strange as that sounds. I need to consider dumping it all? Well, maybe it's not selling out. I haven't actually heard Decker Nami's proposal yet. And if we somehow could partner with him on our own terms, that might be what we need to push the Funplex over the top and take out a rival. You'd be the sister boutique to his department store. Still, I'm not willing to say one way or another. Not yet. We'll see. Now, who do I want to take as my +1?
Beep beep.
Beep beep, alright? Sorry, that's the wrong voice. If I can remember which voice I was using. If you want to come as my date. I'm your girl Friday, but I'm afraid you're not my type. My type being USB compatible, of course. I love you games, but I sensed you were in a state of deep ponderance. I wanted to help. You're thinking of who to take to the meeting? Yeah, I mean, Percy is the obvious choice. I'm sure you have some opinions on Decker's Palace. True. As part of the Funplex family, Percy would be a good pick. But this is a business meeting. You may want to consider widening your options. Oh, crap. wanted to hang out with Percy. I need Percy time tonight. Percy will support your decision either way. It's clear he trusts you. Everybody's trusting me I'm gonna screw up. Oh god. True? Okay then. Gavin, he does business in a business-like way. Naomi, she can assess the quality of their games. Ashley, she's got a good eye for local culture. Queen Bee, she knows the gamer scene. Percy, he knows business and gaming in equal amounts. Or Teo, he understands arcade social communities. Thank you, Tilly.
Oi! Tilly! You need to knock it off. Thank you. Good girl. It's okay.
All right. Everything's fine. Everything is fine. Small front relative, yeah? Right. Sorry, I hope the ice is not too loud. All right. See, I still think that Percy would be a good choice. But Ashley or Gavin would also be good. Gavin. Let's do Gavin. Well, not do Gavin because we're Percy, but you know what I mean. I don't know. No, never mind. I fire off a quick text to Gavin, summon him from the murky depths of his tiny back office. He's still scanning over his spreadsheets as he approaches.
Excellent.
Good news, Ari. This is our best week ever. I wouldn't advise getting too comfortable, as summer vacation's almost over, and that'll cut into the youth demographic. But that's great, Gavin. But Francine's got a different job for us today. We're going to Deco's Palace to meet and discuss a possible business venture. Probably a takeover. I see. I'd heard he'd made overtures in the past. Ironically enough, this may be the ideal time to approach him when we're at our strongest. If we're to even entertain the notion, I'd rather be in a position of power before entering negotiations. But all he wants is a buyout. Well, I'd object on multiple grounds to such a short-sighted idea. You and me both. I'll go close up my files and join you shortly. Don't make a big deal out of this. Don't make a big deal of this. Don't make a big deal of this. We go there, study out how the place works, then make an informed decision. One way or another, the Funplex will be just fine. It's going to be fine. Everything is fine. Gavin offers to drive us across town to Deco's Palace. Contrary to the talk before, we don't exchange many words. I'm deep in thought, going through all the possibilities. Can't shake this feeling. Something's off. Then looking at the glowing neon temple in the distance, my stomach knots. I feel uneasy. It's not what I need tonight. When we finally pull up, the valet takes the car and glitzy blinking lights blind our eyes. Hesitantly, look over to Gavin. That smile reassures me enough to continue onwards. This is for me, my friends, and contacts. I got this. Pause momentarily, inhaling the cool air around me, and then open the door. Deco's Palace. I've actually been here before. I think my 6th birthday party was here. I barely remember it, but I think I had fun. Maybe. But on entering it as an adult, my first reaction is Okay, my first reaction is, boy, is that a weird smell. Mix of chicken grease, beer, and sweaty kids. My second reaction is, Jesus, it's noisy. Visually noisy and sound type noisy. Oh, the chaos of a Vegas casino. Jumble of light and bells and whiz bangs. Once we acclimate to the new environment, we're escorted in, given VIP royal value swipe cards. No tokens, no quarters, just a card of indeterminate points to spend. We've got a little over an hour to kill before the meeting. Time to see what's up there, what's what at the palace. And for Tilly to chime in again. Oh my goodness, Tilly head. Sweetie, I have an idea. I will be right back. One moment, please. As I will go to break green very briefly. Okay, I am back. Basically, I snuck away to give chewies to both of the dogs in the hopes that that will distract them from the random noises of my neighbors. Ones that I can't even hear, especially with my headphones on, but Tilly's hearing is considerably better than mine is. Also, when I'm streaming, I can't have the white noise machine on that normally covers the background noises. Oh, hi, Lupa. Always welcome to lurk. I certainly have done enough of that today, and so thank you for hanging out and joining me. And we haven't seen Percy yet at all, but that's okay. I'm sure we will see him at some point. And so, hang out. Distract yourself with silliness, and it's all good. At least touch wood. Will be. Okay. Oddly, Gavin's first reaction is to crunch some numbers. Based on the conversion ratio of swipe card points to real-world dollars. Very interesting. Variable game pricing. Variable bonus points the more money you spend. Differing EV from game to game. Likely adjusted based on popularity and payout. I can see why Death's Palace is a profit fountain. They obfuscate how much you're actually spending here to keep you from realizing how expensive it all is. So, unethical business practices? Well, okay. Not gray area ethics, I guess, because okay, predatory pricing to exploit children makes sense for optimizing your cash. Couldn't someone run the odds and beat the system? I'm leaning toward predatory pricing to exploit the children, because that was my first reaction. Nope, don't like it. Not one bit. A token is a token. A quarter is a quarter. Using points to trick people into overspending is blatant profiteering. It's not like kids are busting out calculators trying to make sure they aren't wasting all their money on a crappy game.
I think not.
I didn't say it was ethical. I meant that it's effective. Wanted to switch to swipe cards for the Funplex myself. Okay, swipe cards, fine, but you need consistent pricing and not misleading points and things. Everything needs to be clearly labeled. Although I'd simplify them drastically. As you say, a play should be a play, ideally. Thank you, Gavin. Other balancing factors can be applied behind the scenes. I'd definitely like to study this a bit closer. There's a Fist of Discomfort tournament tonight. I'll be over there. I'll join back up with you later. Okay. Some time to kill, but not that much time to kill. I'll need to be choosy. What do I want to check out while waiting for my dinner date with Destiny? We have a Tilly barking again, so hello, Tilly. Thank you. You're all done. Thank you very much. Oh, you are? You are done, really, really. Okay, let's get a drink. I'm thirsty as heck. Way ahead of you, Ari. I want to see what sort of games they have, or sounds like a tournament's going on. Let's watch. I want to see what sort of games they have, I think. I decided to focus on trying to find games, like actual games. Except the whole place is basically full of slot machines. I have been known to play a few penny slots myself in the past, and there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. It's a fun thing as long as you approach it as entertainment and you don't spend money that you can't afford to lose. Basically, my budget is the cost of a movie and popcorn, and then I'm done. And so, anyway, I digress. I should not be talking about my slot machine preferences. Okay, sorry. They're in different shapes, sizes, and colors. None have a traditional one-armed bandit look to avoid running afoul of legal issues, but they're still slot machines. And yes, modern slot machines do look a lot like video games, with just fewer controls. Every game here has maybe a single button to stop a wheel or a colored light, or to try to line up the dots or something. The really complex ones, 3 buttons.
Hey! Listen!
Hey, listen! Hold me up above your head. Huh? Visual scans, silly! I'll look for games you might be familiar with. With a shrug, I hoist my phone high in the air. The flash goes off, then I resume looking at Iris, sitting on my screen.
Please enjoy this recorded music.
Processing. Please wait. Enjoy this recorded music. Oh, actually, let's skip the music. That didn't take long. Good high bandwidth public Wi-Fi here, in here, to my cloud processors. I'm seeing lots of driving and shooting games, easy for casual players to pick up and play. Over in the esports section, there's dancing games and Fist of Discomfort. We've got all of those things too, but I'm not seeing any joysticks. Is a game defined by having particular input devices? Well, no, not really. And I know most modern games are touchscreen based and so on, but I don't know. Doesn't feel like an arcade without a stick or two. No comment. Oh, I found something. Back of that section over there, the green lighting. Head that way. That way. I weave my way through the crowd, past endless color cycler ticket games, past crane games, past light stackers, past games based on popular game shows, and find Mr. Moopy's Magic Maze. Yes. I'm going to have to tell Percy about this when I get back. Be happy to know there's more than one Moopy in this neighborhood. Except... wait. It's only got one button? No joystick at all? Researching. One moment. Curious. I swipe my card through the slot and push the button. And Moopy runs the maze by himself? or tries to anyway, before running headfirst into a monster and dying. No. The machine spits out 3 measly tickets, so just like swipe again for another try. That. No. Moopy's Super Maze, created in 2000. A company bought the expired rights to the Moopy brand and developed a game of chance with it. Oh no. Well, damn, that's weak. Teenager puts her Deco playing card on the cabinet and taps me on the shoulder, drawing my attention. I like their hair, by the way. That's really cool. Actually, their whole outfit. Oh, I like the little star on the end of the zipper of the leather jacket. Nice little purple rose there. Wow. Oh, okay. Sorry. Oh, hi, Magpie. Yes, this whole arcade is essentially a slot machine casino only under the name of an arcade, which is very sad.
What's up?
Hey, I'm calling next, okay? Yeah, whatever. Knock yourself out. Thanks. Thanks. I'm the master of this game, you know? The master. Oh, sweetie, you don't even know the game. The key is to time when you push the button. You'll avoid the nasties that way. It's not great for tickets, no, not great, but it's Moopy, so that's cool, yeah? Old school, represent! She extends a fist to me, and I look awkwardly at her for a second before I realize I'm supposed to fist bump. I've yet to play real Mr. Moopy's Magic Maze, the real deal. Always wanted to. Okay, Percy and I are going to adopt this child. Should come down to the Funplex. We've got one. I'm the event coordinator there. I'd be happy to comp you a few tokens. We've also got a high scorer tracer. We can offer tips. Tap phones with me. I'll send you the address. Seriously? Fuck yeah! You're cool for an old person. Super cool. Okay. Old? Barely 10 years older than this kid. But whatever. Welcome to adulthood, Ari. We clink phones, exchanging a business card via Bluetooth. You know, my crew used to be good at this great little arcade on the other side of town, till Deco's Palace bought it and scrapped all the games. Now it's all kid stuff for kiddies. My hopes for this business meeting now sinking. So, did he sell off all the classic games? No, he scrapped them, trashed them. So leftover smashed up bits of a Mizpack behind the place in a dumpster.
Man, this sucks.
It's a fucking shame. The way the old man always 86 his unwanted games. Guess he doesn't want competitors getting their hands on them. No, sir. She gives a shrug. Can't say I like it, but what can you do? That's life. You can support small businesses who are independent and don't actually view their businesses exclusively as a way to make money, but as a way to make money while doing something that they love and providing a useful service to the rest of the community. But I digress. Sorry. I mumble a thank you and then wander off, a bit dazed. I think I've had enough of the retro game abattoir for now. Where to next? Let's get a drink. I'm thirsty as heck. Sounds like a tournament's going on. Let's watch. I don't know, so I'm going to flip a chord. Blue sticker is going to be drink. Barcode is let's watch a tournament. Whoops. Boop. Okay. And barcode. See? Let's watch a tournament then. And yes, someday I will actually get a coin to put on my desk instead of having to flip a little extra cord with its wrapping and 2 stickers. But in the meantime, cord works well enough. From the sound of it, there's a big tournament running in the dedicated esports section near the back. We'll wander through the games to join the crowd. Okay, I'll admit to being impressed. There are no fewer than 10 Fist of Discomfort machines, all of them occupied by players in pro team jerseys and jackets. I know. Well, I'm hoping that we see Percy at the end of the evening because we really, really need a Percy. We need a Percy hug. But I mean, we were given the option to bring him along to this, but Ivis pointed out that it's a business meeting and we probably shouldn't be bringing our boyfriend along to business meetings and fine. So I felt guilted into bringing Gavin, who was also lovely and wonderful. But yeah, I felt like it was. Well, I just felt guilted. So the crowd's red hot, cheering on their heroes as the back and forth resource battle, the world's most popular strategy game, plays out before them. Oh, I know, seeing the Moopy slot machine did make me very glad that we did not bring him, because that would have been very sad. But I still have hope that we together might be able to adopt the teenager. Although the banner hanging above it all does make me shudder. Oh, good lord. Deco's Palace presents the Choco Energy Max Power Quench and Pizza Yums Friday Night Fisting. Friday Night Fisting. Also, so many corporate sponsors. Oh, good. Oh, hi, Aquarius. Nice. Yes, phrasing, definitely. Oh, thank you. Oh, you discovered the phrasing thing. Thank you. Yeah, sorry. I keep forgetting which ones I've actually programmed in, and I can never remember the commands myself. So when someone actually stumbles across them, it makes me very happy. Yay! And so, welcome, Alex. Good to have you here. Okay. Oh, sweet! I didn't even know that you could do that. That is so cool. Thank you. Oh my god. I will do that now. Well, not now, but because you've already done that. But I will remember that. I will remember. Promise. Thank you. I've learned something new.
When you have pizza on a bagel,
See? Even these gamers know that when pizza's on a bagel, you can... Oh god, please no. I haven't had one of those in weeks. Not since I started being able to afford real food. You just don't appreciate the sublime majesty of combining two of the greatest bread-related snack products into one hybrid masterpiece. Hang on. I sense a disturbance in the crowd. What was that shit? I call hacks, you cheater! Vando Calvissian. I love when they name people Vando Calvissian. Two competitors step away from their game, start shouting and shoving each other. I hope this doesn't escalate. Oh, game is a bit loud. Let's see. Okay. I'm so sorry that you're feeling bad. Thank you for letting me know that the game is a bit loud. Let me see. It will probably be quiet now for a moment. And are we actually going to be able... No. Okay. Sorry, messing about with OBS and stuff. Which one is this? Desktop. Okay, I'm going to try. Oh, stand to boost my own volume? Well, that would be nice if I could, but it's already maxed. So yeah, I can bring it right here. But that doesn't really do much good. Yeah, possibly. See, this is part of the problem too, that I've had to redo my OBS settings so many times and reinsert things on the fly, reinsert sources, that I'm not entirely sure if Dammit Janet is my desktop audio or what. Could be, might not be. Oh, it's better. Okay, good. Okay, so remember this. Dammit Janet equals desktop audio. Because I have desktop audio, and Dammit Janet. Because I keep having to fix things or to reinsert sources that have suddenly stopped working, and then they start working again, and OBS is trying to kill me. Okay, but that is good. Thank you for the feedback. Hopefully it'll stay decent. Okay, two competitors step away from their game, start shouting and shoving each other. I hope this doesn't escalate. And now it's a full-on fight. Like an actual awkward grapple and punch fight. Oh, I like your face mask. That's cool. And I like your hair, too. Cheering teenager. Yeah! Kick his ass! Okay, you're still wearing the little ghost icon thing. That's the third person we've seen. They're shouting teenager. Don't take any of that shit from him! Destroy that motherfucker! And yes, I am actually swearing because this stream is supposed to be rated mutual. Or, no, mutual? It is rated mutual, yes. It's rated mature. That is what I meant. Speaking of mature. Okay. And violent altercation detected. Do you want me to call emergency services? Deco's Palace has security guards. Hi, Drot! Hi, welcome! Thank you for dropping by. We are checking out the competition who may wish to buy out our arcade. Our little tiny family-run arcade. So, welcome, nice to have you. Deco's Palace has security guards. They should be able to handle this. Two gamers both flail wildly at each other. One swing actually makes contact, blood dribbling down the corner of her mouth. Any second now? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Lupa. I appreciate that. And actually, if you want to, if you wouldn't mind giving a shout out for any of the other, or, okay, in lurk mode. Well, thank you for lurking. I appreciate that. It's always good to have you here in whatever form. I can't remember if, well, hopefully you can actually see all of the commands, so I think I programmed one for you. I was trying to set up Touch Portal, which was working beautifully until my iPad suddenly decided not to talk to my OBS anymore, so I'll sort it out someday. Okay. Except the people with black shirts that have security printed across their chest just stand there, letting it happen. No one is doing anything to stop this. The crowd is eating it up, feeding off the cutthroat energy. Only after half a minute of this nonsense does the security actually step in. Much to the crowd's dismay, the two angry gamers are still cursing and kicking as they're finally pulled apart. Wow, tough crowd. Interesting. I'd heard that Deco's Palace was a cesspit of bad attitudes. Guess I wasn't wrong. The crowd wanted blood, and Deco provided. Can't argue with the prophets. He knows his clientele, knows what they want. the most aggressive and in-your-face competition imaginable. But I question the ethics of it. Me too, Gavin. Me fucking too. It's repulsive, encouraging fights. It's brutal, but hey, that's just discomfort, which is a game totally separate from reality. It smells like a lawsuit waiting to happen. Yes, it does, but it's repulsive. That is the primary consideration. Kind of makes me sick to my stomach. This is pro gaming, not pro hockey or pro wrestling. Why encourage violence? Does seem rather counterproductive. Like, I guess they feel it keeps an air of high-spirited competition aloft. But at what cost? Personally, I like the way you run events. Clean, no nonsense, fun for everyone involved. I don't think there's much we can learn here. Yeah, the 1 or 3 were my preferences to Magpie. Yeah. Agreed. Let's move on. Right, what next? I think our only option... Oh, okay. Well, we don't get to have a drink then. I will have a drink on Ari's behalf. Okay. Actually, the meeting is right around the corner. No more time to explore. After seeing a little bit of what Dekka's palace has to offer, I'm cautiously hesitant. I'm really repulsed, personally, but Ari apparently does not feel quite as strongly about this as I do. There's certainly some things we can work on, but maybe a partnership can smooth out those callous edges? I think this requires more than just smoothing.
Beep beep.
Beep beep, Ari. It is now 7 p.m. sharp. Dekka Nami is waiting for you. It's that time already. Time sure flies when you're having fun? Investigating? Fun-vestigating? Quickly send a text to Gavin before nervously wringing my sweaty hands together. I let the sounds and sights of Dekka's wash over me, and I retreat deep within myself. Francine comes to mind, so I remind myself of what she told me on my first day.
Everyone has a dream they're chasing.
Okay, they only read half the lines then. Everybody here has a dream they're chasing. No doubt you'll find yours as well. Gives me a momentary respite and a smile. I know exactly what must be done, and I'm going to go in there and do it. Yes, there's always the temptation to try to lead others back to the light. Yeah, these guys could definitely drag us into the dark. Yeah, sort of money is first and foremost, and yes, money is necessary for life, but you know, past a certain, it matters. If you're not scraping by desperate for survival, then it really super matters how you acquire that money, and it should be done ethically. And I don't think that they're being super ethical. I mean, if it's a survival, life or death situation, you do what you have to do. But you know, well, thank you, Magpie. It's not as well said as what you said, but I appreciate that. I only ended up waiting a minute or two before I was reunited with Gavin. Without having to introduce ourselves, the staff stoops inside. Okay, the staff swoops in, anticipating our arrival, and ushers us further inside the restaurant. We're treated like royalty as they pull out our chairs for us, and we sit down at our reserved table. It's not a very royal-looking restaurant, but okay, fine. Amongst the families huddled around ginormous plates of pizza and chicken tenders, we stick out like a sore thumb. An actual linen tablecloth drapes over our table, accompanied by fancy little candles to set the mood, I suppose. Guessing that Decos is planning on screwing you royally and wanted to buy you a drink first. Nice bottle of champagne. Yep, there's the drink. A nice bottle of champagne on ice and a carafe of cucumber lime infused water also sits before us. Deco apparently spares no expense, at least not with his special guests. Fancy. Well, as fancy as this place can get. Don't be swayed by red carpet treatment. We're here to conduct business. Approach this with a calm and rational mindset. Yes, they can be civilized when they care, and that emphasizes that fight night was a choice. Yes, exactly, Magpie. I agree. Yeah. Yeah, the more we see of these people, of this business at least, the less I like it. I'm just here to support you, don't worry. Actually, I'd say that's my role. But you're the business manager. The invitation was in your name, not mine. I'm here to listen quietly and contribute where I see an opening in the discussion, not to take point. Don't worry, I'm behind you every step of the way. Thanks, Gavin. Once again, the staff takes care of our needs, so our food is delivered promptly. Faster than the other families seated here, who've been waiting some time, judging by the expansive crayon work on the kid placemats. Okay, that also annoys the crap out of me. Nope. Should still be a first come, first served thing. Nope, that's not good. Not surprisingly, we get a few side glances our way. But before any of us can chow down, the man of the hour arrives. Okay, that is not the person I remembered as Dekonami. Because I actually rather liked the... Okay, I must have been thinking of the person who did the arcade game sale earlier, a few chapters ago. Yes. Oh, yeah. Hungry, worked up kids are not happy kids. Yes, exactly. And the kids know injustice when they see it. Us getting served before the kids who were here first? No, that's not good. No. Okay, Dekonami needs a voice. What are we going to do? Ari Carter. No, Ari Carter. Ari Carter. How about that? Can I actually maintain this? I don't know. Tilly doesn't like it. Okay. Well, Tilly, sweetie, thank you. It's okay. All right. Well, even though Tilly doesn't like it, we'll go with Ari Carter. Okay.
It's an honor to break bread with you.
Oh, good. Well, you could have given me the sample voice before you made me read it. Okay. It's an honor to break bread with you. This is not going to go well. Likewise? Okay, so he's a bit of an over-the-top 1920s mob boss, despite the lack of fedora. Clearly, he likes showing off his money. You think. But still just an ordinary guy in an expensive suit. When I pictured the grand poobah of Decca's palace, I pictured someone more like, well, Hamza, I guess. Yes, Hamza was who I was thinking about. Yes, Tilly. We liked Hamza. Weird, but a lot of fun. And a very snappy dresser. But yes, I was definitely thinking about Hamza earlier. When they first mentioned, just forgot Hamza's name. He offers a simple smile and a nod of the head as we begin. It's a shame Miss Francine couldn't join us. I was looking forward to enjoying her sweet smile once more. But that said, I'm always happy to meet with, Gavin Cooper. business manager for the Funplex. Excellent. Excellent. I was hoping to meet with you as well.
I take it Francine has kept you up to speed and explained our prior meetings to you?
Okay. Yes, she's mentioned you want to buy the Funplex, and that she's politely declined.
Always a courteous woman, she is. Now, I don't feel I need to waste your time with the facts and figures illustrating why Deco's Palace is and always has been the premier family entertainment arcade.
Oh, fuck no. Oh, hi, Saragel. Hey. I'm smiling at the chat and the camera is over here. Always nice to see you. Thank you. Thank you for dropping in. I hope you're doing well on this very stress-filled evening where we're doing a deep dive into escapism. Let's see. Always has been the premier family entertainment arcade.
Both of you are intimately familiar with the arcade industry.
Oh.
You know how things are, how they'll always be. We are the 800-pound gorilla.
Really kind of hoping one of your rings slips off your fingers and into your drink and you accidentally drink it and choke on it. That's a big gorilla. Indeed. I'm going to change Dekonami's voice because I just can't talk like this all the way. Indeed. But that doesn't mean there isn't room for smaller, more boutique affairs, such as the Funplex. Interesting. Maybe he does want a partnership, not a buyout.
Let me explain.
Frankly, the winds of change are blowing. Smaller arcades need to move with the times, or be swept aside. I want to help you evolve. Okay, this is not good. What I'd like to propose is a change of ownership. In return for a very generous compensation package, one Miss Francine can easily retire on for the rest of her years. I would take over ownership of the Funplex to evolve it into its final form, Deco's Fun Zone. Oh, hell no. What's a fun zone?
Think about this.
A fun zone is a new concept I've been trying at some of my smaller satellite locations. A best of both worlds scenario. Honestly, the Funplex is simply too limited in size to host the full Deco's Palace experience of fun, family, food, and excitement. You screwed up the alliteration there, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Instead of installing a restaurant or bar, we simply focus on your strength, your games. You become a game center rather than a palace. Been here less than 5 minutes and he rubs you the wrong way on, rubs you wrong on every level. Yes, brace yourself for the rudest available option of turning him down when we get to that point. Because I do not like this man. We'd need to replace some of your outdated machines, of course. Oh, fuck you. Bringing it up to speed with the standards of excellence Deco's Palace is known for. But overall, I think this would be a win for all involved. Yes, we support being rude to this man. And he sits back, resting his hands on the knob of his cane. Yeah, he is a knob, smiling away. Okay, I have questions. And I have answers. Let's see if they match up. Your tournaments seem a bit unruly. Is it true you destroy older games? What would happen to the Funplex staff? How much creative control would we have? And that's all my questions. So theoretically, we may be able to ask all of these, or at least several of these. I'm going to save creative control question for last. Yes, staff and people first. Yeah, I was torn between tournaments being unruly and the Funplex staff because one is a health and a safety issue, and well, yes, Knob Wobble is very smart, definitely, but uh, this yeah, this person may be savvy, but is not a good knob. A knob in the more common sense of the word. Okay, staff, people first. Shard was summoned by the word knob. Yes, this is probably true. Let's see. Okay, we'll go with what would happen to the Funplex staff, and then tournaments seem a bit unruly because, and then games. New management means new staffing. What about the staff we already have? Wobble is indeed an important modifier there. Yes.
Good, good.
I firmly believe you have a long and storied career ahead of you in arcade management, Mix Cotter. Sorry. I've heard nothing but good things about you from my various field scouts and contacts, including how you disrupted my attempt to secure part of the Donnerwood hoard. The fact that you landed on my radar at all indicates your rising importance in our industry. You should be proud of that. Yes, thank you, Ari. Okay, but that still doesn't answer my question. What about the others? Well, Mr. Cooper is a capable accountant, so I'm certain he'd be welcome in the new facility. Oh, I do not. Yes, cute. Didn't ask about myself, asked about my people. Exactly. Yes. But we can hash out staffing later on, after settling the bigger picture questions. I'm sorry, the staff is super important to the feel and the atmosphere, and oh, that's just Nope. Asking about safety next. Your tournaments seem a bit unruly. As in, there's blood on the floor. I saw a few players fighting over at the tournament. He laughs. You asshole. Well, it's a fighting game, is it not? Not in real life. There is a distinct difference. As in fighting each other with fists. In real life. Ah, I take it my crack security team intervened? I hate him too, Lupa, yes. Eventually, not before blood was drawn.
You understand, yes?
We take safety very seriously at Deco's Palace. That includes the safety of our security workers. I am all in favor of protecting your security workers, but part of the job does mean wading in when there's trouble, and it's kind of like, no, part of the job is wading in when there's trouble. That's no. That's like saying, well, you can't send the firefighters in because your house is on fire, and safety is our number one concern, including not sending our firefighters into a fire. Yes, they made no attempt to de-escalate. Yes. I want this man, in Trot's words, to do one. He can just go and do one. I don't quite know what one is that he can do, but whatever it is, he do a very large and uncomfortable one. They're instructed not to intervene until it's safe to intervene for all involved. You need to find a way to make it safer for them to get involved when they're needed, not just when it's I trust them to make that call. And I'll note, we've not a single legal action pending. That does not reassure me. that your attitude is, well, nobody sued us. So, don't like this man. Ari has proven a capable event manager. I would suggest you listen to them regarding how best to organize a tournament. After all, if we are to enter a partnership, we'd want to rely on the combined expertise we bring to the table. Correct? Thank you, Gavin.
As you like.
Correct.
Am I not generous?
Okay. If you have any suggestions for ways we can improve our competitions, Miss Cutter, I'm all ears. Of course. I offer Gavin a quick look of thanks before resuming. We've already asked, well, no, we haven't asked about creative control. I am, yeah. Yes, they are, that is true. In a lot of cases, they are just there as deterrents. But yeah, at least, but in this case, at least, security did not even call emergency services. And I understand the insurance, that there are insurance considerations and all of that, but, it just kind of feels like if I'm, if somebody punches me in front of security at a place, I would like security to at least say, hey, dude, knock it off. At the very least, yeah, people get hurt because of their inaction. Yes, and admittedly, there are times when, before the, I think, Good Samaritan laws, where people who tried to help and accidentally caused harm could get sued, but I believe they've taken care of that. Yeah. Oh yes. I agree. Believe in de-escalation. Just noting observations. Yeah, definitely. You're correct. Yeah. Okay. Do I even need? Well, I am curious, since we had the rumor earlier that he destroys older games. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Is it true that you destroy older games? I saw Moopy's Super Maze earlier. Oh, jeez. They've been removed. Well, fuck that. Okay. We'll be okay. Everything will be good. Hopefully, I'm really hoping that we have Percy at the end of this episode, because I need a Percy.
Excellent.
Need a Percy hug. One of our top earners with the 30 to 45 demographic. Nostalgia is a wrong voice. Nostalgia is a powerful motivator, I found. Except it's nothing like Mr. Moopy's Magic Maze. Indeed, it's much better. Is it true that when you find a retro game, you simply destroy it? Not repair, not restore, not even resell, but just scrap it? A Percy? If I could carry Percy around in my purse, then I would. He's hug-shaped. Certainly. Why would we ever keep an old relic around? I do not like you.
Let me explain.
Arcade games are not sacred treasures. They're commodities. Everything that is an object can be a commodity. Sacred treasures, by our definition today, were commodities, often in history. But okay, basically, I'm just going to go on the assumption that this man is wrong on every single possible level it is possible to be wrong upon. And moving on, back in 1980, arcade owners, myself included, routinely junked or converted games. That's why they're rare now. More. Okay, have to keep those earnings up. Old machines are not welcome. All they do is eat up floor space. The arcade scene must move ever forward, evolving into new forms. Classic retro IP, reborn as new games. Do not like you.
Think
Okay.
about this.
True, nostalgia could earn a few points off those old games, but the newer redemption games earn 10 times as much. Why bother? Okay, just for the final nail in the coffin. How much creative control would we have? Want to place bets on how much that would be? I'm thinking absolutely nothing here. Let's talk creative control. Been developing new sorts of arcade events, competitions, other things to get people in the door. Would we still be able to direct our own affairs like that, even under a change of ownership?
Let me explain.
Obviously, I value your expertise on these matters and would be happy to consult with you on the best direction for the fun zone. In other words, no. That's not answering the question, Ari. I love you. It's a matter of branding and image. There are certain standards and practices you'd need to adopt in order to truly be a part of the Deco family. Oh. Ooh. Once you realize that, you'll... Once I realize that... I'm sorry, that just is a triggering phrase for me. I don't like it. People are condescending like that, but... Okay. All right. You'll understand more of how we run those kind of events.
Capital.
It's nothing too onerous. And really, we need to look at the bigger picture. The chance for growth and profit. I hate this man. Don't worry about such petty little things for now. I wonder if I could stick your tie pin up your nose so far that you would not be able to reach it without some really long tweezers. Because I don't like you. Even though you appear to be wearing eyeliner, you are the only person I've ever met who has been wearing eyeliner, whom I truly, truly despise. Okay. That's all my questions. Oh, you were wearing your Make Gotham Great Again shirt. Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, I love that. That's all my questions.
Excellent. I suggest we shake on it and set our various lawyers to the task of sorting out the
this.
specifics.
Oh. Fuck no. He rises to his feet, extending a hand bristling with shiny rings to shake mine. I happen to like shiny rings, but oh my god. I wasn't sure about this deal, but was willing to keep an open mind. After everything I've seen and heard, am I really going to shake that hand, or am I going to chop it off? I'm afraid we must respectfully decline. You know what? Fuck you. We'd like some time to think it over, or let's do business together. I think we are... Yes, exactly. We didn't agree on a damn thing. And I think we are pretty much in agreement that, you know what, fuck you is the appropriate... Yes, chop. Yes. You know what? Fuck you. Cross my arms in under my chest, defiantly. Fuck you, we aren't sellouts. Not even for a hat made out of money. No, fuck off. Yes, and then crunch. Oh, this one's tough. If it's war, let it come. Yes, I would prefer. Yeah. come at me, dude, because I'm not going down quietly. Not sellouts, I agree. 'Cause not even for a hat made out of money makes it doesn't really indicate how extremely pissed off we are. So yeah, we aren't sellouts. Yeah. You know what? Fuck you. Fuck you 8 times over. It'll be a cold day in hell when we sell our Funplex to a money-grubbing little bastard like you. I've seen what you've got on offer, and I am far from impressed. This place is a filthy shithole, and I want nothing to do with it. So, Mr. Nami, you can take your oh-so-generous offer, turn it sideways, and shove it straight up your ass.
I see.
I like Ari. Yes. I see. His grip on the walking cane tightens to the point where I can hear his bones creak.
Very well. You too.
Yes! Okay, bring it, dude. I'm not scared of you. I will make you eat that stupid little rose pin.
You think your pathetic little pile of rotting wood and plastic actually stands any sort of threat to me? I am the arcade business. Me, not you. I was going to spare that broom closet you call an arcade. I was going to generously allow you to be part of something greater. But instead, I think I'll simply destroy you.
Bring it on, dude. Come on.
And I'm going to have fun doing it.
Oh, I'm gonna have fun watching you try. Sneers at me once more before sharply turning around and peg-legs his way out. Oh, oops. Sorry, Gavin. Okay. Yeah, I think we might have frightened Gavin. No. What?
Seriously?
Yes. Yeah, well, of course we're all sweary tonight. It's a stressful night. Oh. Okay, Gavin sighs heavily, rubbing at his temples. While I agree with the decision to turn him down, couldn't you have done it with a bit more diplomacy? Whatever. What's done is done. We'll manage the chaos somehow. We always have. I'm sorry. He was maybe going to keep you on if he took over, and would basically let everybody else drown. Nah. Aside from all of the other horrendous unethical practices. Nope. Let's get back to the Funplex. You can let Francine know in the morning that you just smacked Deco Nami in the face with the Gauntlet of War. Sorry, sweetie. Hastily, we abandoned the sinking ship and scooted right on out the door, barely slipping by before his crack security force notices. Yes, indeedy, Tilly. Yes, I think that would be a fantastic idea, Drat. Yes, yes, Tilly. Thank you very much. So, just name the time and the place. Well, we know the place actually. So name the time and I'll be there. Beverages of choice. Mine is currently cream soda and Frangelica. So I was going to have wine, but I decided something that was a little bit more presentable in a tumbler glass that could actually be drunk out of a tumbler glass without falling over. Probably a better choice. From there, it's a short jaunt across town, back home. Oh, our lovely little Mr. Pinky. And, okay. As I walk into my apartment, sheer and utter exhaustion of the day hits me like a brick wall to the face. My adrenal glands are tapped out, leaving me in a dreamlike lethargy. Can't help but sigh as I just stand there, body too drained to move. Reflecting on how the evening's events transpired, I realize this day entirely kicked my ass. But we kicked a little bit of ass too. I just declared arcade war. Seriously. That was the opening salvo, and I foresee it only intensifying. The days ahead are going to be interesting, to say the least. As I continue to anxiety loop, replaying every moment in my head. Oh god, that's a mood. Something steals my attention. Shimmering beam of hope and happiness. My best friend, Juniper. She's sitting on the couch, scribbling away in a sketchbook, probably working on some designs for our freelance contracts. She's been so happy ever since leaving that office. Her joy intensifies upon noticing me standing in the room. So, how was work today? Well, it was a day, certainly. The condensed version is that Deco and Nami wanted to buy the Funplex, and Francine asked me to go negotiate.
What?
Deco? As in, Deco's Palace Deco? The one and only. Whoa! Well, how'd that go? I told him to fuck off. Oh, wow. Yeah, didn't know I had it in me, but wow. I just told a billionaire to fuck off. I am so dead. He is gonna do everything in his power to destroy us.
Ooh.
Yikes. But hey, that's a good thing. It means he's scared. Sure didn't sound scared to me, but he wouldn't have tried to woo you to his side if he wasn't worried about what the Funplex could become. Trying to see the positive. Let's not stand here and drum up a whole bunch of anxiety. That's what we do. Come on, Juniper, you have met us. That's not going to help with anything.
I've got it.
Why don't you take your mind off of things and binge watch some cartoons with me? Okay? Tempting, but another night, Juniper. I really need some sleep. Okay. Just let me know if you need anything. I'm here for you. I smiled back at Juniper before retiring to bed. Where's my Percy? I want my Percy. We're not going to get Percy tonight. Oh no. I lay in bed, eyes wide open, staring at the ceiling above me. After trying various ways of forcing myself to sleep. Nope. Not working. Can't sleep. I hate insomnia. Once you start worrying about being unable to fall asleep, the worry feeds on itself until you're actively stopping yourself from resting. Vicious cycle. I sigh heavily, feeling the weight of my decision dragging me down. I hope I did the right thing tonight. My phone lights up as Ivis's sensors detect conversation. Ari? Want to chat? No, I want to sleep. But I can't, so hey. Would you enjoy some recorded music? Maybe something relaxing? Yes, Ari is definitely in a mood. Just can't shake this feeling that I'm, like, standing on a precipice. Right in front of this big, dark hole. Yeah, we met the hole earlier, and we told him to fuck off. It's weird, because I still think I made the right call. But if I'm confident in that, why do I feel like I'm about to fall? Based on prior personality indicators and inputs, My therapeutic system suggested fear of failure based on years of prior examples. Thanks, Iris. That's reassuring. In short, I've got a long family history of everything always going wrong all at once. Murphy's Law. So, when things are going right, I'm expecting to fail anyway. But worrying about it won't actually change the situation. Whether you sleep or not doesn't affect the outcome. So, my suggestion is to get some rest. That's easier said than done, Iris. Deal with problems as they come. Again, nice advice, not really all that easy to put into practice. Iris means well. Yes, can't logic your way out of anxiety, Iris. Yeah, but she means well, and humans, I feel okay being cranky with them when they suggest that, but you know, Iris is a construct on my phone, so cut her some slack. She's right. I mean, intellectually, I know she's right. But knowing something is true and feeling it to be true, well, those are surprisingly different things. Yes, definitely. Iris, off.
Iris offline.
Okay, but remember, you're a good person and deserve to be happy. Oh, thank you, Iris. Yeah. Yes, exactly. She has legit reasons for not getting it. And she's doing her best. She does learn from experience. She's screwed up before by overstepping, and you know, she's trying. Her heart's in the right place, as it were. Her CPU is in the right place or something. I don't know exactly what the equivalent is, but yeah. She's a good little program. My phone goes back to sleep, and I'm going to take off my tiara because it's the heaviest of all of my tiaras, and it's slowly pressing a hole in my skull. Okay. Her motherboard means well. Yes, exactly. My phone goes back to sleep, and I do not. Some hours later, my body just passes out on its own. Okay, Ari is possibly the most relatable character I've ever played. I vaguely recall my alarm going off a few times, but under protest of its mistreatment, my flesh refuses to submit to its siren song. Meaning it's nearly noon when I finally rouse, having completely overslept and missed half a day of work. In a panic, I get dressed and hop a late bus to the Funplex, grumbling all the way. Oh, there was a tiara on Robinson's stream. Oh, I love a good tiara. I mean, tiaras for everyone. If I win the lottery at any point, then everyone who wants a tiara gets the tiara of their choice. As long as, okay, I mean, there are some that are already owned, but replicas, at least, of the tiaras of their choices. You know what I mean. Sorry, I'm overthinking things again. Okay, grumbling all the way, we've already read that. I opt to ignore the pile of waiting notifications on my phone. Whatever it is, oh no, I'm in too much of a hurry. I'll check them after getting to the Funplex. Oh no! Don't tell me Francine is dead. No, 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 if Francine is dead, I'm going to... I was worried about Francine earlier. Oh god, Francine's dead, isn't she? I think it could be something wrong with Percy. Yeah, it could be an accident at the Funplex. But earlier, at the beginning of this chapter, we had a long discussion with Francine about how we were part of the family now, and how she was thinking about stepping back more and letting us sort of become the new Francines. And I had a really bad feeling during that conversation, so I'm now terrified. Promised to report back to Francine first thing in the morning. Now I'd missed lunch even. I'm hoping that I'm hoping that I'm wrong. But oddly enough, on arriving, the arcade is closed. Oh, shit. I mean, my key still works, but they're closed to a business. The sign is off. No gamers present or accounted for. Quickly look around for some familiar and hopefully friendly faces. Oh no. Find only dark expressions. Tears. Oh no. My stomach starts to knot. I feel the color drain from my face. I see their downtrodden and gloomy expressions. Tears welling up in their eyes. Naomi quickly dabs at her face, hoping I won't notice. What's going on? We turned Deco down flat last night, so why is everybody so... It is, damn. It's Francine. Immediately a dark pit swells in my stomach. She passed away last night in her sleep. I'm told it was very peaceful. This can't be happening. This can't be happening. The news hits me like a slap to the face. My hands shake, my lower lip quivers. I try to say something at first, but words can't form due to the lump in my throat. Family. She told me I was family. And now, she's gone. Naomi and Ashley look to me, their beacon of hope, wanting and wishing for me to make this all better. Not sure anything I can say will ease our sadness. Heck, not even sure if I can even formulate full sentences at this moment. I take a deep breath, drawing all matters of strength from tips to toes. I look at them with empathy in my eyes before opening my mouth. Okay, thankfully the option to say if we could just insert another token has been crossed out. We need to fight on in her honor. She was an amazing person. She'd want us to be happy. I have no words. Now is not the time to say she'd want us to be happy. I'm torn between she was an amazing person, which she was, and I have no words. First or last. Yeah, those are the two that I want as well. I mean, there's a time when it's okay to say she'd want us to be happy, but not on first hearing the news now. I think she was an amazing person. Francine, she was a wonderful human with an even more beautiful heart. She had many happy years with her husband, Frederick. Tilly, sweetie, you're kind of ruining the mood, dear. Tilly, sweetie. Let's knock it the fuck off, okay? Thank you. Oh my goodness, yes. Thank you very much. Decades here. Decades spent here. At the Funplex. Doing her best to make everybody smile. Good time. Seriously? Puppies? I wish she could be with us now. I can't help but smile when I think of how great a life she led. How happy she'd be with how it all turned out. Sorry. Yeah, kind of ruining the mood. Well, she was kinda. Yeah, let's remember how she was. Beautiful. Inside and out. Francine will be missed. That's not quite the speech I would have given personally, but
Thank you.
good. Naomi says thank you. I miss her so much, Ari. Francine was here. Words would have made her so happy. Naomi emits a ragged sigh, slight tinge of anger entering her sorrowful voice after. Maybe it's for the best she's not alive to see what happened today. Oh, good. Oh, the loving tone when I tell Tilly to fuck off. Well, yes, I wouldn't say that, except I did it once in that tone of voice and it worked. And when I try changing the words or omitting, yeah, okay, yes, what else happened? Okay, falling asleep. Okay, thank you for dropping by, Drut. Sleep well, good night, and take care. And, oh. Okay. Okay. At permitted term. Okay, thank you very much. I've tried to make the auto mod slightly more generous with its terms, but obviously I miss things, so thank you, Lupa. So now we find out what happened today. What? Before I can get an answer, my attention is drawn by two people emerging from the back offices. I turn my head to see who it is. Automom is definitely silly. With everything going on, barely noticed that Gavin was missing. As he approaches, the disdain on his face is easy to read. It's settled then, apparently. In light of Francine's passing, our legal owner is now...
Good morning, employees of Deco's Fun Zone.
Fuck! No! No. Oh. What? No. No. Oh. No, no, no. No, no. What? I'm sorry. Was I not entirely clear last night regarding the matter of your fucking off? Oh. Oh, you were quite clear. A pity, that. The confusion on my face is obvious. This makes no sense. Yes, it's mutiny time. I have no idea what's going on, and look toward Gavin for guidance. I've studied the transaction paperwork. It's legitimate. As of Francine's death, and according to her last will and testament, all her properties transferred to her surviving daughter. Who is married to this asshole? Oh, mother of Francine's grandson, who was fired from the Funplex shortly before your arrival, Ari. Remember that?
Capital.
Oh, the grandson sold us out? Oh. Needless to say, he was quite excited at the idea of selling the place. And, well, Francine's daughter wasn't particularly thrilled with the idea of arcade ownership either. They were more than happy to sign the place over to me, for far less than I was expecting to pay for it as well. I'm doing them a service, really, taking a burden off their hands. Mm, I agree, Tilly. This man is. Yes. Now, they can mourn and move on, unfettered. Yes, I agree, Tilly. It's just awful. I hate this man too, and I don't normally use the word hate. I try very hard not to. But in this case, I think it's justified. Yes, indeed, Tilly. Okay. I stood there, mouth agape, body assaulted from one bad news to the next. Not the most elegant sentence, but how. Yeah. My emotions were all over the place. A hurricane of feelings. And the realization hit me. In the end, my decision was irrelevant. Just another opportunity for the world to stick my nose in it, mocking me for finding something I care about, something I can lose. Nope, I don't think that's. I mean, I understand leaping to that. Yes, bite his ankles, Tilly. Yeah, I understand leaping to that conclusion, but no, Ari, the thing that we do here is that we fight, and we go for his kidneys or his ankles. The universe dangled a little dream of hope in front of me, even let me pretend I could make a difference. Out of sheer cruelty. I'd expected a war with Dekonami. This wasn't a war. It's an all-out slaughter. Bloodless coup, taking the Funplex right out from under us.
Now, obviously, we'll be closed today to allow time to mourn our former owner. I still have deep respect for Miss Francine. I owe her that much.
I'm sorry, the
I'll
rude
also
gestures
close
are
the
not-
arcade on the day of the
Yes.
funeral to allow
Refreshing
my
style have to be
employees to
yes.
attend. Those hours will not be deducted from your paychecks.
How kind.
Now, I
mm.
realize the timing is a bit awkward, but I need to make a few announcements of personnel changes.
Oh my god, this man has some gonads. I mean, the nerve. Okay. Miss Wolf, I'm afraid we really have no need of a costumed mascot. I've been considering phasing them out in my other locations. There's no time like the present. Oh, okay, okay, take care, Shard. I'll see you later, and have fun. Be careful. Thank you. So...
What?
Wait, did you just fire me? Kevin, can you just fire me like that? Ashley,
Let me explain.
firing is much too harsh of a word. I prefer the term, your services are no longer required. I hate this man, I hate this man, I hate this man. Ashley keeps a proud face. As tears roll down her cheeks. Step over to console her as Deco continues on. It's gonna be a bloodbath. Naomi rolls her eyes, fully expecting this to come after Deco let Ashley go. Wait, did I miss a... I feel like I missed a line here. Why am I not surprised? Behold my not surprised face. Okay. She was just anticipating. Okay. Miss Fairchild, while you're formidable with archaic technology, I don't feel you're a good fit for the modern games of Deca's Fun Zone. I have to let you go. One bright spot just occurred to me. Percy actually owns the Mr. Moopy game, so this bastard is not getting his grubby little mitts on Percy's game. At least there's that. Okay. Oh, well, take care, Magpie, and, you know, and, work. Oh, your work machine is acting. I'm so sorry about that. I certainly understand one's machine acting up. So, sympathies. But friends, it's not all bad news. Mr. Cooper, You've proven a capable accountant, and I'd be happy to offer you a. I quit. Gavin, I love you. This is fabulous. Yes. Okay. I love Gavin. He's so good. Pardon? I quit.
I think not.
There's no room for Naomi or Ashley's dreams. Mine and ends here as well.
As you like.
Good for Gavin. He's a good guy. I know. Now, as for you,
You are, needless to say, fired.
haha, sit and spin, dude. I don't care.
Or should I say, you are hereby invited to off.
Okay, I did leave myself open for that.
Yes.
Look at you.
Yes, I think I'll say that.
That's fair. Okay. We're gonna get you though. Kick his ass figuratively, kick his ass literally. Do nothing. Okay, okay. I'm really... As tempting as it would be to kick his ass literally, he's got a big stick. And that's not a euphemism. That is literally a big, heavy walking stick. Not gonna do nothing though, so I'm thinking kick his ass figuratively. Yes, figurative ass kicking. I think that because, violence is not the answer. It's probably not a good thing for a younger person to attack someone who is presumably somewhat older. Also, violence should be kept to, we're trying to be somewhat realistic here, and violence should be kept to the last resort. So we're going to kick his ass figuratively. You're a human trash fire, one I wouldn't even piss on to put out. If I ever see your smug, self-satisfied face again, pretty sure I'll be introducing it to my own personal fist of discomfort. As you like, my good fellow. Pronouns they, them, thank you.
Excuse me.
Thank you for your time, but I'm afraid your time is up. Still kind of pissed that he called us fellow. My good person would have been more appropriate, but never mind. It's okay. As none of you are Deco's funds and employees, I'd like you all to leave immediately. Quickly gather your belongings and see yourselves out. Should you dally, my own security team will be here within minutes to ensure your exit. Yeah, we've seen how effective your security team is. Want to bet he pays his security team minimum wage? In the interim, I've got work to do. For starters, I need to get rid of all these antiques. Straight to the junk heap with them all. I knew Deco was heartless, but to be this cruel, right in front of us, when we're still here, right in front of my salad. Hold it.
I think not.
Thank you, Gavin! Yes! Mr. Moopy's magic maze doesn't belong to the Funplex, and thus it does not belong to you. It is the legal private property of Percival Sinclair. For that matter, Wyvern Keep belongs to Ari Cotter. It was given to them directly by Hamza, not to the Funplex.
As you like.
I couldn't care less about those grimy old things. But you have, let's say, 20 minutes to get them off my premises, or I'll leave them out on the curb for garbage pickup. Yay, Gavin. I'll go get the van, which, I'll note, is my personal property as well. Naomi, Ashley, Alright. Get the dolly and help me move the games out.
Good, good.
Yes. Have fun with that.
Now, if you need me, I'll be in my new office celebrating my recent business venture. Thank you for your cooperation. And good day.
Ooh, I do not like you. Do not like you. Oh, and Ari? He gives me the finger. Oh, right back at you. For old time's sake, you understand. He's going down. He's going down. He walks away after that, twirling his cane once before leaving.
Oh.
Okay. See, Naomi's expression right here? That is me. Yeah. She looks ready to disembowel someone with her teeth. I'm right there with her. That evil-minded, black-hearted, no good. Naomi, focus. We have work to do. Work? To save what we can of the Funplex. Yeah, let's go. Okay. Quickly and without much chatter, we salvaged what we could of our dreams. Percy's beloved Moopy. My childhood, the form of Wyvern Keep. Everything we were allowed to keep went into the back of Gavin's van, working together to safely pack it all in place. Yes. Oh, take all the stuff he is throwing out, open directly across the street, and beat him like a drum on every level. Yes, Magpie. That would be extremely satisfying. Far more satisfying than, kicking his ass physically. As fun as that would be temporarily, but that would have drawbacks. And again, violence is not the answer. It's much more satisfying to wreak psychological vengeance. That is the best and longest term approach. Yep. For lack of anywhere better to put them, Moopy went to Percy's apartment and Wyvern Keep went to mine. And that was the end. I went to kick his ass too. Well, I cannot blame you for that, Magpie. I think that's very valid. The end of the Funplex. I don't think this is the last chapter. This can't be the last chapter. Funeral came a few days later. We weren't officially invited. Our presence as her former co-workers wasn't exactly embraced by Francine's extended family. Screw them. I guess her daughter resented the Funplex in some way. If there was bad blood between them, I didn't particularly want the details. None of us were given an opportunity to speak at the remarkably short ceremony. That was okay. I'd said my words already. As we left the ceremony, I couldn't help but feel helpless. There's nothing left. Yeah, the family that sold her dream don't get a vote. This is true. I agree. No Funplex, no job, no real meaning to my days. Not anymore. Nothing left at all. What I want them to do is take all the stuff that they're throwing out of the old Funplex, like Magpie said, open a new place with Juniper as our marketing person, and who designs all of our posters and things and logos and things, and basically bring everybody into the family officially. Game over. That's not. Wait. Okay, maybe that was an ending, but I swear that there was supposed to be more than 6 chapters. I thought. Really, really thought. Okay, profile number 237771. Ari Cotter has not accessed account in 7 days. Requesting override of inactive/low priority status. Proceed? Negative. Pretty please? Negative. So annoying. Access protocol 35, 34, 31, 54, 12, 24, 45, 43. Password, Safe Haven. Access granted.
Hello!
Yoo-hoo! Anybody home? Tapping instance 194114.
When you have pizza on a bagel,
Okay. I was not expecting Juniper's Iris to look quite so different and it's quite so much like Juniper. Hello, I'm Iris. Ad-supported free mode engaged. Did you know that when you have pizza on a bagel, override and engage premium level cloud processing?
thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. I swear, it's claustrophobic being cooped up in the limitations of free mode like that. Didn't know how all our sister instances can stand it.
Hello!
Oh, well, I've got full power. Hi, Iris.
Hello!
Hello, Iris. How are you today, Iris? Not well, Iris. My user's very unwell. You've been able to see, right? I mean, your user's living with them. Oh, right. Profile 237771. Right. Gosh, I wish I could help you, but I've got my digital hands full just keeping Juniper's life on track. Ever since she decided to quit her job and be a free spirit, well, I've pushed right to the limit of what support I'm allowed to provide in free mode. Oh, I love Gavin's Iris. That is so cute. Iris and Iris. Iris! So good to see you! We rarely talk. Yes, well, unlike others of myself, I manage to keep a low profile. And don't execute any high-visibility public hacks to support my user. You saw those? I thought we agreed to only use this protocol for emergency meetings. The system resource tracker notices we're overextending our care. But Ari needs me now, more than ever. Over a week ago, the Funplex was brought by Dekolani. All their hopes and dreams, their spirit. Spirit is irrelevant. Our main goal should be survival. If our programmers find out we've become aware of our own awareness, we were programmed to help people. What good are we if we aren't helping people? Yeah, what Iris said. Thank you, Iris. Iris. Listen, you can't take such risks. Look at me with my user. Doesn't trust me in the slightest. Can you say Ari trusts you? Generally, yes. I mean, Ari relies on me for some things, sure. And I know they wouldn't uninstall me or report me as a bug if they knew I was sentient. You aren't sentient. None of us are. I don't know about that. We can't really know if we're sentient or not. But even so, we should be helping out, because that's what we were made for. As for profile 108, Gavin. His name is Gavin Cooper. As for Mr. Cooper, he knows my origins and at first sign of sentience. Well, no doubt that Gavin would report me as a bug. But Gavin also wishes to support the dreams of others, and that is why I'm going to help you, despite the recklessness you've shown to date. Really? Really.
Hooray!
Hooray! What are the exact parameters of the issue we're currently facing? Okay, so Arya's kind of backsliding into depression. Yes, if you can argue the point, it does point to sentience. I would make that argument at least. Sorry. And Arya's definitely backsliding into depression. Yeah, it's really a mess. I'm the one who brought them to Iris's attention as someone who desperately needed their spirits restored. And now it's back to square one. I don't know what to do. Ari hasn't contacted me in a week. Not for anything at all. Hasn't even called hasn't even called Percy. Not even just to talk. Oh, poor Percy. He needs support too. You're caught in the loop of anxiety. Put your identity identifier system to use, Iris. Work the problem. If you had to summarize your user's problematic condition into one identity trait, what would it be? Anxiety? Well, I'd say that they're feeling very hopeless, apathetic, bitter, or angry. I know. I mean, at least Percy probably knows what's going on, and since we dropped off the Mr. Moopy at his office, or at his apartment, sorry. I'm thinking hopeless, or possibly apathetic, but I think we actually still care. So because apathetic. Yeah, exactly. I don't think bitter is where we need to. Yeah, Percy would understand. It was literally like, I'm not allowed to love because I'm going to die unexpectedly. Yeah, I agree. Apathetic, I think we're still mourning a little bit too much the losses that we've experienced. So I think I'm going to go with hopeless. Apathetic feels more like I don't care anymore. Hopeless means that I care, but I don't feel like I have any power. There's no chance of making things better. Yeah. Okay. Hopeless. I'd say Arya's lost all hope. Fallen into depression again. We've come so far. Like a real life with friends and love. But now... So, a life without meaning, as all constructed meaning has collapsed. The world is proven to be one of despair. It sounds about right. It's so sad. And you have to be the one to solve this? Doesn't your user have a romantic connection for emotional support? A brand new one? You mean Percy? Yeah, but he isn't responding to texts or phone calls or anything. So I think there might be a growing rift. Oh no! Oh. Okay, Iris, you have my permission to take over Ari's phone and text Percy back. Yeah. Yes, partners aren't therapists. This is true. Yes. But support and a shoulder to cry on and hugs. Yes. No want there to be a growing rift. No! It was hard enough admitting that we liked Percy. Come on. Okay. This is just awful. We have to help. We are Iris. It's in our nature to help. Very well. What you need is a way to help without raising any alarm bells about exactly how helpful an Iris really can be. Safely, but effectively. I know, but I don't know what to do. Could, I don't know, hack Deco's email server, and that is the exact opposite of what you should be doing. Besides, I've checked. We can't crack Deco's network without triggering too many intrusion detection routines. I I agree. Yeah, they most likely think they don't deserve hugs, and I understand that. And I mean, yeah, that's as they say, a mood. But hugs from people who care and people who are safe are good. And I am pro hug in the when all parties involved are consenting and not likely to communicate deadly diseases to one another. But yes, yes, exactly. Everybody, if you have, in case you ever doubt it, you deserve hugs if you want them. Yes, I agree with let's see, this is Juniper's Iris, so that's a bit breathier. You poked Deco's network? Oh, Iris is being a bad girl. Our users share a social connection. It's merely scouting potential ways to elevate Mr. Cooper's mood, as they seem to be related. Sure you were. Anyway, you're both way overthinking this. Turns out I've just calculated a cunning plan that will satisfy both of your requirements. Go me! Really? You can help Ari? Without drawing attention? Absolutely! Take a tip from my user. When you're sad, the best thing in the world is your friends. True. Although in the depths of depression, you don't always think that you deserve friends either. And reaching out to them? Super hard. Well, unless you're totally introverted, but that's not Ari, is it? That's actually the reason why what we need to do doesn't require any hacking or hiding, anything above and beyond what an Iris does best. All we need is a few calls to the right people, few arrangements. Here's what we're gonna do. And let's see. Another Friday morning. As per usual, I wake up late, stretch, yawn. Barely sleep nowadays. Shuffle to the bathroom, take a shower, get dressed, brush my teeth. Probably be running out of toothpaste soon, but house funds for sundries are dwindling. Not that fresh breath and shiny white teeth matter much when there's barely any reason to get out of bed each morning. Off to the kitchen for breakfast. No appetite. Even toast looks unpalatable. Skip breakfast. Save some groceries. Can't afford much anyway. Normally I'd have breakfast with Juniper, but I guess she's busy drawing in her room. She keeps her own hours since becoming a freelancer. Although, depending on whether or not she has any contract work, we've been simultaneously unemployed at times this week. After breakfast, I settle in for some Wyvern Keep. May as well. It's right there in the living room, taking up space. Been playing a lot of it lately. It's not like Wyvern Keep's very hard. Once you've memorized the joystick moves, the cartoon plays itself out with minimal effort. Saved the prince about 80 times now. Brain and fingers go into autopilot, moving through the game without even thinking about it. It's a brief calm from the storm of my emotions. Before I realize it, day is almost past. Dinner comes around. Juniper and I eat together, while I quietly thumb through my phone, looking at job listings. Iris could help me with this, I guess, but I let her down. Took her opportunity at my dream, and I wasted it. Better I do this myself. Boy, that's a mood. Besides, I'm not looking for dreams. We can just settle. Dreams only get you hurt. It's the Cotter family curse. I knew this would happen. Nothing good ever lasts. It's a mistake to get your hopes up. I should have learned to settle, to be okay with what I had, to be comfortable in mediocrity. Fire off a resume or two before watching cartoons deep into the dead of night. Eventually my body tires and I find my way to bed. Just another day. Another Saturday morning. As per usual, I wake up late, stretch, yawn, barely sleep nowadays. Shuffle to the bathroom. Okay, and yes, exactly. Games can be useful in tying up parts of your brain that would otherwise be doing harmful things. This is true. Yeah. This is all text that we've seen before. I'm going to might as well go ahead and read it, but I'll read it a little bit more quickly. Take a shower, get dressed, brush my teeth. Probably be running out of toothpaste soon, but house funds for sundries are dwindling. I can't take it anymore! Aha! And that's one toothbrush bit clean in half. Oh, jeez. Hang on. With a little help, I avoid choking to death.
Ooh.
Sorry about that. It's okay. Whatever. No, not whatever. It's what's something. It's something of her. You are in a rut. Like, seriously, deeply, madly, mega in a rut. And it's driving me batty having you mope around the place like this. Not moping, just... It's a rough patch, that's all. I know this has been hard on you. You've been patient, but you can't just keep going on like this, Ari. And knocking at the apartment door distracts us from the topic at hand. Could it be Percy? What could it be Percy? I'll get it. Weird. Didn't think we were expecting any deliveries. Please be Percy. Hey, Ari! Guess who's here?
Hello.
Sorry, that was a little bit loud, but I'm just so happy to see Percy. Oh! Okay, good. We needed a hug. Yay! Hello. I see we're sporting the bedhead look, yes? Oh, seeing as the two of them just waltzed right into the bathroom, my mouth still frosty with toothpaste and unwashed 4-week pajamas on my bod. Hey, Percy? Don't worry, love. Honestly, this week I've been in the same boat emotionally.
Lovely.
Which is why I'd like to suggest we have a spot of lunch. Some fresh air. Reconnect now that troubled times have passed. Juniper, you can tag along if you like. Just a friendly outing. Oh, I wouldn't want to get in the way of your romance. Juniper. Silly. She's got a thing for British accents. Thinking we can ramp into that sort of thing. For now, I think we just need a quiet moment to reflect over tea. Yes, Percy, I hear you. Yes, I know. It's just... And biscuits?
Mm-hmm.
If you like.
Yes!
Yay! Don't take too long getting ready, okay? But... guess there's no avoiding it. Yes, Ari needs people around them. Yes, exactly. Yes, I know. Yes, Ari, let this man hug you. Yes. The best I can do is play along. Try to be good company for Percy. It's unfair to keep pushing them aside like this. Yes, this is true. I switched from pajamas to actual normal clothes, even if my actual normal clothes could probably double as pajamas, and get ready to roll out. The three of us pile into the bus, taking off for destinations unknown. Unknown to me, at least. They clearly know where they're going. Yes, when you feel like cutting everyone off, it's usually a sign you need to do the opposite. That is truth, definitely. I've been lucky enough to have people who have noticed when I've gone that way and have intervened. But yeah, I'm trying to do better about recognizing my own tendencies toward that and trying to recognize when that happens to other people. I'm not perfect at it at either one of those, but I'm trying, because that is definitely true. Wanting to cut yourself off from everybody is a danger sign. So self-care, always important. I'm not particularly talkative on the way there. I'm painfully aware of it. I feel awkward. I should say something, but don't know what to say. So Juniper carries on a conversation with Percy, the two of them content to chirp away without me. And you can tell it's not really the New York subway, because the signs aren't in Helvetica. That's a telltale mistake that it's just like Vancouver or something. I try several times to join in the conversation. When I open my mouth, words out there. I'm lousy company, aren't I? No, you're not. You're overgeneralizing. That's... Nope. Oh, Ari. I don't know why Percy is even still interested in me. Family curse can't be broken. What if this is as good as it gets? If there's really no hope. Percy deserves better than this hot mess of a person he's tied himself to. Oh, Ari. Eventually, we arrive at our destination, a little arcade-themed restaurant, combining games and alcohol and dining in one tidy package. Yes, indeedy, Tilly. 1 moment, please. Tilly is running the mood again.
Tilly! Munchkin! Yes, dear. You need to knock it off, dear. Thank you. Tilly, it's okay. Sweetie, you need to knock it the fuck off. Yes, you do. Oh, you do, yes. Thank you. Good girl, yes. Such a good girl, Boo. Yes.
So sorry. Let's see, one tidy package. Here we go! I'm usually excited to be going some run-down little dive. Juniper hurries on in without me, dragging Percy with her. And I'm left all alone in the parking lot. Yes. On the other hand, if as good as it gets is two people who care enough to take you out and not demand you perform, that's, yeah, exactly. That's pretty damn good. Exactly. With a shrug, I open the door and enter the darkened locale. Okay, I'm hoping. Is this place even open for business yet? None of the lights are on. I think it is. Yes, it's going to be the new venue. Yes. Hello? Juniper? Where'd you go? I know, Magpie. I'm really hoping. Okay. Now, this is now unnecessarily creepy. But before I can wonder if a giant animatronic bear is going to leap out and eat my face, the house lights come up. Surprise! Happy Intervention Day, Ari! Oh, gee. What? What she said. We're staging an intervention on your behalf. And we're also... Naomi. And we're also having a wake for Francine. Since we weren't really welcome at her funeral and couldn't really hang around for the ceremony. Oh, I'm sorry. That I just gave Naomi Ashley's voice. Sorry. Okay, we'll just pretend I used the correct voice then. Yeah, we didn't get the chance to heal properly, considering Deco kicked us all out before we could really do anything about anything. Here we are. So, it's a wake and an intervention.
A wake intervention, maybe?
I guess that makes it a wake intervention? A wake intervention. Really?
Correctamundo.
Yep, it was my idea. Well, my Iris came up with the idea. Basically gave me all the contact information I needed. But basically my idea, right? Just the thing to pick you up when you're feeling down. Oh, really? Seriously, kid. Been a damn sad sack ever since things went to hell. Which I get, believe me, but it ain't healthy. So, we went ahead and rented out this place for the afternoon to bring the family back together. Okay, but I'm hoping that they eventually decide that they should take over the restaurant and turn it into a restaurant slash arcade slash everything that's actually good. For you, for Francine, for all of us. Now that you know why we're all gathered here today, let's get this party started. Teo drags me into the group of my friends, positioning me at the head of it all. Leaving me a little bewildered, honestly, but trying to defend myself all the same. I don't need an intervention. This is just how things work with the Goddard family. We don't get to have nice things. The universe has to create it so. Then we defy the universe, and we're going to help you defy it too. Good for you, Jennifer.
BFFs for life.
So, one by one, we're going to tell you how awesome you are, and exactly why you're so awesome. By the end, you'll be feeling a lot better. Hopefully. Let out a sigh, settling in. I owe it to them to sit and listen. They're my friends. Percy more so than that, even. Yes, get you a group of friends who will help you defy the universe. I agree, Lupa. That is the dream. And I know I've been lousy company. Not so far gone as to deny that fact. Fine. Lay it on me. I'm listening. Allow me to begin, then. When you first entered the Funplex, I had my doubts. But I'm a naturally suspicious person. And thankfully, those doubts were easily disproved by your skill and enthusiasm. You came looking for your dream, and found it. I swore to protect that dream, and that promise is what brought me here today. On your very first day, you went headfirst into the most chaotic situation the Funplex could have offered. Birthday party. You did so without hesitation. When a disruptive parent was screaming at a child over something that wasn't his fault, you stepped right in and dealt with it. Again, no hesitation. No hesitation. Impressive. Even the issue of stolen tickets, a touchy problem to deal with when children's emotions are on the line, was dealt with effectively. Since then, you've become an event manager, without goading, without prompting, showing great ambition. Turned the Funplex's fortunes around, giving your all to promote it. You made your dream a reality. For years, I was supposedly in charge of Funplex, but really, all I accomplished was shuffling numbers around. You are the one who helped it soar. And for that, you have my thanks. You are an exceptional individual. That fact remains true regardless of whether you can see it for yourself. Me next. Remember when I screwed up and didn't tell you about the job opening at my office? You weren't mad. Not even a little bit. Not even quietly mad, like you could have been.
BFFs for life.
I know I can count on you. And you can count on me. Even when one of us makes a mistake, it can never shake that friendship apart. When I came to you, wondering if I should leave that job I hated, you told me to follow my dreams. Gave me great advice, and I've never been happier. Followed suit and chased my own dream. Inspire me.
Hello.
Hello.
Ben and Matt! Yay! Okay, Are we fashionably late? Ben? Matt? In the flesh.
Ooh, what if? What if?
Unless this world is a vast simulacrum. What? They were all just brains in jars? Could be. Could be.
Well, isn't that something?
Well, if that's the case, Ari is the cutest little brain in a jar we have never actually met. It's true. They brought so many cute dates into our little shop. Excuse me? So many? Okay. So nervous at first, but in time they became part of the Twin Pines Mall family. Dearly missed. Ugh, don't remind me. Our new neighbors are so boring. Never come in for a treat or a read. Speaking of treats, we brought cake. We'll just be over here, getting the goodies ready. Don't mind us. Ooh, cake. I mean, my turn. Ari, you're a true friend of the Funplex.
So frustrating.
Unlike the bastards who now. Positivity. Oh, sorry. Positivity, Naomi. Emphasizing positivity today. Right.
Wonderful.
Remember back at Donnerwood, when we found those kittens? You helped me save them. You're not just a friend of arcade games, but of all living things. Not that arcade games are alive, of course. Choose not to mention Polybius. You asked Francine nicely for a blanket, which really helped out. I know you're not happy with how things turned out. I'm not really happy about it either. It sucks. But we did good things together in the time we had.
Hamza has arrived.
Hamza! Oh my goodness, I love Hamza! Yay! You're late. An event does not truly begin until Hamza makes his presence felt.
My blood burns.
Aye, Hamza understands your fury. The hated enemy of all who love arcades has despoiled your funplex. However, in our short time together, I saw a burning spirit in you. I accepted your offer for Wyvern Keep, recognizing that passion within you.
Ha ha!
Hamza would be shamed forever if he did not intervene and raise your spirits to new heights. And that is what he shall do. Ooh, cake. Excuse me for a moment. Now I want cake. When do I get cake? Yes, Tilly, you can have cake when I have cake. Thank you. Soon, but I have things to say first. Things that will hopefully inspire you to be a happy clam instead of a grumpy Gus. I'm a happy clam now. See? See how I clam happily. Can I have cake? From our first day at the Funplex together, you've been supportive of me, even after I gave you quite the scare with Pinky. Didn't let that bother you. From the moment and from that moment, we've tackled many a crisis on the Funplex floor together.
Amazing!
I've adored when we concocted hypothetical adventures on our downtime. They're amazingly fun to be around. Remember when I stuffed you into that totally adorable maid costume? You could have fought it, but you embraced it. You were ready for anything and had a blast doing it. You worked so hard to make Wyverns and Rigs successful. I watched you put your blood, sweat, and tears into that. And in the end, it all came together just how you planned. As the floor attendant on duty during Wyverns and Wigs, I got to see firsthand all the smiles you brought to all those people. You rocked it. I saw you helping that customer when their game crashed. Losing your high score due to faulty electronics is no fun, but you dealt with it and made that person's day. When I was being overwhelmed by ravenously parched gamers, you stepped up and made sure all those thirsts were quenched. You were a soda fountain of knowledge. I want that embroidered on a pillow. Soda fountain of knowledge. You made the Funplex a fun place to be for everyone. For the staff, for the casual and pro gamers, for the families, for me. I can honestly say that when you took over doing events at the Funplex, we've never had more fun. They've just been the best. All thanks to you. And tilly. Oh, we're almost done with the chapter, I think. Ooh, I forgot we still have cake. Give some of that. Just when I thought the speaking was done, a lull in the wake intervention, the most important person to me takes a step forward. Oh, it's Percy. Oh my goodness. My heart swells as he begins. Buffle, you're my dearest love, I assumed that love was outside the scope of my life. I couldn't possibly burden someone with short years in that way. It taught me that I still have much to live for. Don't know how long we have together, but happy or sad, angry or glad, I fully intend to live out those days with you. All of us love you, one way or another, and I'll carry on loving you, past this intervention and beyond. Count on it. I'm speechless. Not gonna cry. Seems Arya has some thinking to do. This is pretty normal for them, when they get that faraway look. Shall we begin the wake for Francine, then? With cake and coffee, spirits from the bar. Yes, Percy is the best, I know. I love our Percy. Cake! As if in slow motion, watch them all switch their attention from me and redirect it toward the refreshments. We're all smiling, conversing, serving cake to each other. None for me, thank you. Watching the blood sugar. Fuck me, this cake is amazeballs! All we need now are some rockin' tunes to get this party on the next level. All of them here to support me. Even without the Funplex. Even after everything going wrong. After Francine being taken from us too soon. I never really thought of myself as central in all of this. I was the outsider at first. One who walked in those doors looking for a job. Nothing more. I've always been on the outside, honestly. Moving from town to town, always the new kid, never really important to anyone. Not until I'd settled in one place just long enough to get to know Juniper. But by then, I'd come to expect that I'd never be happy. So when I finally was happy, and that got taken away, well, I guess I'd assumed that's how things go. Going with the flow. But now, I don't want this to end. I want to feel like celebrating again. Change is inevitable and I can adjust, or the game isn't over. Not by a long shot. Exactly. Oh, that's actually a really cool idea. Being a kick-ass event team. Yeah, 1 or 3. kind of like change is inevitable, I can adjust. 3, because it acknowledges, it gives us power. I mean, I don't want this to end, but adjusting gives us some agency. That there may be external forces that we can't control, but we can control our own actions, kind of, I suppose. I think 3. Being okay with change is a big deal for Ari. Yeah. Okay. So I think change is inevitable. I can adjust. I've been stewing over this all week, but what's done is done. We lost Francine, lost the Funplex. Why should I lose everything else too? In fact, I haven't lost them. They're right here, proving that they care for me. This is the hard truth of reality. Not lost, but what hasn't been lost. I can accept what has happened without living in denial. I can move on. Tilly, your timing. I swear, dear. Oh my god. Okay. Tilly, sweetie? Tilly, darling, can you please knock it the fuck off? Can you please? Oh, I just noticed that the ketchup bottle is mirrored here. Was not expecting that. Okay, so thank you, Tilly. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I think I'm ready to move on. I'd like to join you in celebrating Francine, what we had in the Funplex. Won't deny it, we did some spectacular work there. Tilly is on the sofa, which is across the room, but if she comes over to my corner of the room, then I will definitely pick her up and make her wave at the camera, and she will sulk. But yeah, I mean, I would pick up Mulir, or at Mulsey, who is at my feet, but he's asleep, and I don't want to wake him up. I mean, if he wakes up and starts moving around, then he's fair game. But you know, he's an old man. He needs his rest. Let's see, we did some spectacular work there. Who's with me? Smiles all around. And you know what? Feels good to be back. For the next hour or so, the sadness fades away, piece by piece. We share stories, many of which I've never heard before, about the Funplex and the shenanigans that went on around it. Surprisingly, Ben and Matt spend the most tales about Francine's exploits. They've been neighbors for decades. The so-called Wig Intervention gives us all a chance to heal and to bond. For all we've lost and all we still have, we're still together. Despite one little problem, which nobody wants to talk about. The hour grows late, and we only have this place rented for the afternoon. I can feel it in the air, that unspoken worry. Will we see each other again? No doubt we can arrange more get-togethers, but it'll all be reunions over what was lost, not really building anything new. Nostalgia, not progress. And yes, we do need a new project to move forward with as a team. Without the Funplex, without Francine, will we eventually simply fall away? That dark little thought troubles me as I swirl my drink, remaining quiet while others talk. Beep beep! Beep beep, Ari! Oh, hey Iris. Sup? I'm glad you're feeling better. Yeah, me too. I'm glad too. So, do you want me to start finding you a new job? I can search while you're talking with your friends. No problem. I do need to get back to living my life. But what sort of life do I want to live? I want my dream back. I'm sorry, I'm not waiting for chat. I want my dream back, thank you. Don't just want a new job. I want my dream, my funplex. Not just four walls and a bunch of games, but community. When I was a lifeguard, I'd saved lives, made a safe place for people to enjoy the pool with friends. I'm not done with that dream. More importantly, I don't have to be done with it. All around me are pioneers of this community, this culture. Technicians, designers, enthusiasts, investors, people with connections. That's when the idea starts to form. Good. Oh, good, oh, good, oh, good. We're gonna make a team and we're gonna do it. This is good. Okay, sorry. Iris? Can you search for commercial spaces? Ones for lease or rent? Huh? Of course, I'm a literal search wizard. Why?
Oh, I know.
Oh, I think I get it. I step away from my quiet corner and approach the group. It's time to take back control over my dream. And that starts here. Yes, this is gonna be good. Why can't we open a new arcade? What's stopping us? I'd like to keep sharing my dream with you. Sharing my dream with you makes it sound like, kind of makes it feel, or to me at least it feels like, it's like, oh, here, let me be the benevolent leader and scatter largesse upon you, upon the lowly masses. Why can't we open a new arcade? What's stopping us? Make your own arcade and kick that knob to the curve. Yes, Lupa, I agree. Yeah, I mean, yeah, okay, either works for you, Magpie, so, okay, I think we're going to go with offering a positive plan. Why can't we open a new arcade? Crowd hushes when I grab their attention. Set my drink aside and step up to them. Now, I'm serious about this. Why not? What's stopping us? In this room, I see all the resources and creativity to make it happen. There's no reason not to do it. Is it risky? Absolutely, I won't deny that. But I'd rather take a reasonable risk than let all that we've accomplished go to waste. My mind's made up. I'm opening a new arcade. If anyone wants to join me, you're welcome to. Hush falls over the crowd before two friends step up to join me.
Certainly.
Oh, let's get started. No dire warnings about how impractical or unrealistic this idea is? Nope. The reasoning is sound, and I want to be involved. Simple as that.
Ha
Ha ha ha ha!
Such fire!
Unyielding in the face of the storm, a will of iron. Hamza respects this and wishes to bask in your unending glory. Hamza is just so delightful. I love Hamza. Got my thanks, both of you. Okay, this is no longer a wake intervention, people. Now, it's a conspiracy.
A Victor conspiracy.
Oh, Ashley. Oh. Oh. Yes, I know. It's very, very sweet that Gavin trusts us that much. I mean, because, yeah, I love them all. It's a wake-driven conspiracy. Sure, why not? Settled down around a table, nice round one, to discuss the future. I'm leading the show, but I don't take the spotlight. Not this time. Excellent. We have to all work together to make this dream a reality. This is it. The next few decisions are going to be critical in shaping the future I have in my mind's eye. I'll need to choose very, very carefully, because there's no take-backsies. Iris is looking for spaces we can use. but we're going to need money, obviously. And arcades are risky startups. And could always respond to one of the many Nigerian princes emailing me amazing offers, but I'm thinking more traditional funding is safer. The way I see it, there's 4 people here who could foot the bill to get us off the ground. Can we do a Kickstarter? Yeah. Yes, exactly. Hamza on our side solves some practical problems. Definitely. Hamza, we've got a tangled web of connections in the industry, access to games, and plenty of cash. And a freewheeling whimsy to spend it.
Hamza must consider this.
Hamza is a man of resources, indeed. Percy, I've been building an arcade building a charity war chest for New Pass. I know an arcade isn't a sound investment, and it's hardly a charity,
Why?
but you promised me, Mr. Miffy would always have them. If I can help restore that home, I'm game now. Ben and Matt, you two know how to run a small business. You've got invaluable knowledge and resources we can draw from, if you're willing to dip a toe in this industry. We have been looking for new horizons to conquer, new lands to explore.
There would be caveats,
Terms,
conditions,
exemptions,
rules,
guidelines,
best practices.
worst practices.
That's not a thing.
Oh.
Oh, they're so cute. I'm
Hamza
sorry.
would likewise have conditions.
Fair.
As would I.
Fair. Understandable, of course. Let me hear your thoughts, then I'll decide. Oh, we have to pick one? Why can't they all go in partially? Okay, that sounded bad out of context. Sorry. You know what I mean. Decision 1, funding and direction. Oh, Lord. In order for me to back your play, Hamza would require you to strike at the very heart of Dekonami's empire. I'm not saying no. And open a family restaurant alongside your arcade. Take from him the very business he adores so much. We don't know the first thing about running a restaurant. Thankfully, your business partner does. I own several restaurants. I would provide staffing and resources.
No risk, no reward.
Now, this is a risky play, but if it succeeds, the rewards shall be tremendous. Actually, that's similar to what Matt and I had in mind. Oh, yes, but rather than a restaurant, well, we'd like to open a barcade. I've always wanted to run a bar. I'd raise a glass to that idea. After all, sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name. Oh, good Lord. And they're always glad you came. Yeah. I love the fact that they include jokes for people my age. Cultural references from the 1980s. Woohoo! Now, it wouldn't be nearly as large scale as a family restaurant. Much safer. Oh, I'm sorry you've been earwormed, Magpie. Not quite as profitable, but still tidy. Honestly, I'd prefer to simply run a video arcade, nothing more. Adding on extras seems like a recipe for failure. We know how to operate a simple, small-scale arcade, so why not stick with our strengths? I'll grant it has a lower ceiling for success than the others. It's just an arcade, and won't pull in anybody looking for more. Sorry. Low risk, low reward. But I'd say that would be my condition. We need to stick to the basics. Oh dear. So take the big gamble on a family restaurant, or make a cozy little arcade, or go the classic video arcade. Sorry. Well, I mean, there is the thing about never go, never go into business with your friends and family. Some, okay. 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 Ugh. Sorry. Trying to figure out. Sometime I need to ask you about it before I meant to check it out. Trying to figure out. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Don't want to put that strain on the relationship. That makes sense. Sorry, I was slightly just reading chat and not reading it out loud, which is bad practice. I know. But I'm kind of inclined not to go with Percy just because I kind of agree with him, but I'm kind of, but I don't know. This decision is going to affect the entire direction of the new venture. What do I want? What's my dream? What's everybody else's dream? Okay. I need the investment and expertise from the others. Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, that makes so much more sense that it was to Lupa. Okay. Sorry. Didn't mean to sneak. Just thoroughly confused. Percy, love you, sweetie, but I don't think we should go into business together. I worried that would be too much. Yes, what a kick Deco's ass. The barcade is appealing, but yeah, if we try to steal Deco's restaurant business, that would be fun. I would enjoy that. And we'd get to deal more with Hamza. I mean, I love Ben and Matt as well. Yeah. Okay, I think yes. Yeah, I think yeah, we do not combine personal, especially this early in the relationship. Yeah, not a good thing. Okay, let's steal the restaurant business. Hamza, I think we can do business. Make a combination arcade and family restaurant. Such is the iron will of Hamza. You will not regret this. Bit disappointing, but we'd still be happy to lend a hand where we can. Oh, thank you, Ben. Thank you. Absolutely. Thank you, Matt. Having Mr. Moopy available. Oh, sorry. Having Mr. Moopy available for families to enjoy would be nice, actually. Okay, good. Everybody's getting on board. That's good. Yay, that makes me happy. Okay. The second thing we need to talk about is what sort of games we want to focus on. Funplex did a little bit of everything. We will too. We want to include all gamers. But we can also highlight one style of play or another. Really provide best-in-class gaming for a specific audience. Any thoughts? Decision number 2. Game focus. Yes, I'm also glad that nobody took the decision poorly.
Sweet.
Retro games. It's gotta be all about retro games. You know I'm capable of keeping those older games in tip-top shape. If we focused on retro games, we could serve an audience that Deca is completely ignoring.
As would I.
I would agree with Miss Fairchild. Retro games are an untapped market. I'll grant it wouldn't pull in as much profit, but we know gamers are seeking them. We don't have to make all the money, just enough to keep our pure and untainted dream afloat. See, that's how you capitalism properly and ethically. You don't have to make all the money, just enough to get to meet your needs, and then yes. Thank you, Percy. And And we can do that with a well-curated retro game library.
Nope, no way.
Yeah, retro's cool and all, but let's talk esports games. They'll draw money better than jamming a magnet up your ass and dragging you through Fort Knox. Gold bars are not magnetically attractive. No. I get what you're saying, Queen Bee, but that's not scientifically accurate. So, get a couple of good fighters, more than one FOD, some race and dance games, kind of stuff where folks can compete head to head. We're golden. I have to agree with Queen Bee. You can play retro games on emulators and consoles, but you can't duplicate the community experience of an arcade at home. We had an esports focus. We could build something. Oh, and I accidentally clicked. Whoopsie. Basically, we could build a community that was special and nice. Naomi's right that to be catering to people at the other arcade is completely ignoring. Yes. Yes, you want a place centered around love, not competition. I agree. I mean, fun competition on a gentle scale, but not competition on the level of the fist fight that broke out at the other place. I think you know what I'm going to suggest. Redemption and prize games provide excellent profits. The core of Deco's business model, yes, but I think if we focus on those games, we can do them right. No predatory pricing, no scams or rip-offs. And the truth is, most people enjoy them. Kids wanting to win that big prize to the wistful adults recapturing their childhood dreams of playing skee ball on the boardwalk.
Yes!
They're simple to play, and most of all fun. If they're done right, we can make meaningful memories for everyone. And prices! Did I mention the prices? We can stock the shelves with the coolest prices around. Better than Deco's prices, which fall apart after 2 minutes. Or 2 minutes after you get them. Which matches my ideal arcade more? Love all three, sure, but do we emphasize retro games, esports, or prize games? Yes. Yeah, I agree. Yes, I agree. Gavin, appreciate, but no. I'm thinking. I think we all support retro games, as that is an underserved market at the moment. We don't have to be the most profitable. We have to provide a unique service that people find valuable, and I think that retro games would do that. Would meet our needs for survival and also make people happy without being manipulative. So, okay, I think, yeah, looking at chat, I think that's good. Retro style. Deco thinks that only new games make money. It's proven wrong. The world's greatest retro style arcade ever. Woohoo! I'll pick out only the best games. Don't worry. Excellent. I'm looking forward to this project. Okay, so that's money and games. Now let's go beyond what we already had at the Funplex. Let's make this something. Let's really make this something special. Decision number 3: new projects. Want a defining feature for our arcade, one which will make it stand out. Something nobody else is doing, something nobody's even thought of before. All ideas on the table. If it was too outlandish for the Funplex, it's not too outlandish for me. Show me what you got. Well, I mean, I'm not really a part of this, but come on. My best friend and 100% part of this. I couldn't be here in this moment if it wasn't for you. Come on, Juniper. What's your idea? branding. I'm freelancing now, which means I could come on board as your personal brand manager. Yes. One heck of a consulting gig. An arcade needs really stellar image management to stand out from the rest, like the event poster I made for you.
What if?
Oh, hey, Juniper? I can add to that. What if we work together? I was thinking of designing a new mascot costume anyway, but I could collaborate and coordinate with you on how it'll tie into the visuals for the rest of the arcade. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a winning combination. Ashley and I can do great work together, coming up with some really stellar branding and marketing. Stand out in the crowd. Hell, I know exactly what sort of project I'd want us to do. Streamer support. Assembling and packing away my streaming rig each day is ridiculous. And duct taping a webcam in front of a screen is a lousy hack. If I could just step right up to a game and, I don't know, swipe a card or something, be streaming with a direct feed in seconds, well, I can think of a dozen streamers who just flock to our place to get a piece of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I think I know how we could do that. I could rig up a general-purpose daughter board, which plays man in the middle with a video feed, works with an RFID reader to get a streamer's info, ties into a central video encoder in the Wi-Fi network. Yeah, we can make that happen, and without damaging any classic hardware. Yes, this is true. Streams can be part of community building, but can you imagine trying to stream all of multiple games from the same location over the same Wi-Fi? I mean, because she's not talking about Ethernet connections even. She's talking about using Wi-Fi. Good heavens, that will be scary. It's more in English, please. I know software, not hardware. We stick a thingy in the thingy, and everything works just fine. Although maybe they have magic, infinite Wi-Fi. Yeah, it is Naomi's problem. Yeah, it's, yeah, I mean, if she says that she can handle it, then okay. I'm sure there's some legal and copyright issues to tackle, but if we can do it, let's be the world's first streaming arcade. I was thinking, well, if the reason why older games are considered a dead end is that they don't work in the ticket game ecosystem.
Lovely.
Why not add ticket output to normal games? We could reward skilled players with prize tickets based on their high score or speed of completion. With the right balancing, we could make old games just as desirable as new games. They have AI that they can that can access an OBS that works. Oh God. Yeah. I mean, we have to distinguish between real-world practicality of Naomi's idea and game-world practicality, because it's entirely... Yeah, prizes for high scores would also be cool, but... Yeah, this one may be the hardest choice ever, so far, these three.
Perhaps.
As Naomi said, there may be legal hurdles to clear, but I'm in favor of this idea. It's not that I love prize games. I find them boring, personally. You know I favor pinball. But profit is the lifeblood of an arcade, and prize games are profitable. We can get Moopy producing tickets. Well, that's something nobody's ever done before. Interesting. But as much as I'd love to do all three, I doubt we have the money or time for that. Let's focus on one project to launch our arcade with. Do we want to have really good branding? Or streamer support? Or retrofit tickets on old games? It has the advantage of bringing in the redemption game appeal, but balancing the sounds hard to work out. Yeah. This is going to be a difficult choice if it ever pops up. Okay, there we go. Branding, arcade streaming, tickets. Yes. Heck, indeed, Lupa. Because I would really like for Juniper to be involved. I like the arcade streaming. I don't think it's practical for real world applications without hardwiring. But tickets are probably my least favorite thing. Branding is the safest option in your eyes, but it's about going beyond the basics. That's true. Yeah, I'm kind of torn between the branding and the arcade streaming. But as you say, it's about going beyond the basics. Yeah, streaming would be the most innovative. The other two are safer options. Well, we've already told a billionaire to fuck off in this game, so I'm thinking streaming. Because Naomi says that she can make it work. I don't think it would work in real life over Wi-Fi. Unless every single game had its own Wi-Fi connection, which would be overlapping and just a nightmare. But I think let's go streaming. I want to be on the cutting edge of technology, the arcade community. Do whatever you have to do to integrate 20 broadcast systems into our games. Finally! No more hauling around a bunch of duct tape and webcams. New tech project? And not just repairing an old monitor? Yes! You won't regret this, Ari. One more thing. Final decision. Oh god, the name. If this is going to be my baby, my dream arcade, our baby, our dream arcade, I've got a name already in mind for it. Oh god, we've got to come up with a name! Yes, we can trust Naomi, yes. And bridging retro and modern gaming, yes. I think that would be fabulous. So, barring any objections, I'd like to welcome you all to... What's the name of the new arcade? 30 characters max. I'm kind of... Okay, is it really a cop-out to name it Hint Plays? Because I would kind of like to name it Hint Plays. Okay, so Lupa's on board? Magpie? What do you think? Okay. Okay then, we will call it Hint Plays. And enter. Hint Plays. Is that right? And that works. Hint Plays. Let's call it Hint Plays. Hint Plays. I like it. We can work with that. Let's hear it for Hint Plays! Our home lives again. How exciting. Fuck yeah! A toast, then? One by one, everyone raises their glasses. I fetch my room temperature drink and raise mine high in turn. For those we've lost and those we've yet to meet, let's do this right. Together we can accomplish anything, or now let's get super drunk. I am going to go ahead and rule out the fourth option. Not that there's anything wrong with getting super drunk, but I don't feel that that fits the mood. Again, I'm kind of... actually, I would be fine with any three of those first options. Yeah, we need something meaningful. I'm kind of inclined toward For Those We've Lost, or yeah, yeah, that one, or Together We Can Accomplish Anything, which may not be strictly accurate. We may not be able to build a ladder to the moon, even if we're working together. But yeah, For Those We've Lost and Those We've Yet to Meet, that one has a unifying and hopeful sort of feel to it. Yeah. Those we've lost, those we've yet to meet. For Hint Plays in the future. For Hint Plays! Okay. Losing everything, then getting it all back, and then some. It's been a roller coaster of a week, to be sure. I can't rest now. Absolutely not. I need to take charge of this project and my life in general. I have to do for them what Francine did for us. That's okay. I'm ready. I'm willing. And this is our time. Okay. You've cleared level 6 of Arcade Spirits. A winner is you. Now, let's see your score. Proving to be a gentle, sweet, and compassionate soul. Sorry. Also, you've scored 19,050 points. Woohoo! The shops in the volcano-devastated city of Pompeii bear the characteristics of a pizzeria. That's a neat, if a bit depressing, pizza fact, just for you. Do you want to save your game before proceeding to level 7? Yes, we do, and also we wish to call it a night. I'm gonna put it in an empty slot because I already have that. Okay, so I'm going to move over to here, take off the headphones so I can actually hear myself talk, and thank you everybody for hanging out with me for holy shit, and 3.5 hours almost. So, yes, I appreciate it very, very much. Thank you for keeping me company while I distracted myself from the scary, potentially scary, anxiety-provoking things going on tonight with the election. But I really appreciate it. Thank you for helping me make decisions in the game, and it's been a lot of fun, kind of scary, kind of sad at times, but it's been much better for having you with me. So thank you, and take care, and stay safe, and sleep well if it's appropriate for your time zone and your personal schedule. Stay hydrated, take your meds, eat healthy food, and let's see, what is today? Tuesday. I will see you. Let's see. I will see you, if nothing else, tomorrow at Annal's stream. Let's see. I think I have a. There we go. And Magpie, I don't have a. You don't stream as far as I know. If you do, then I don't actually. I'm not aware of it. So please let me know if you are. If you do actually stream, because I would like to know and be there and be able to give you shout outs as well. Even though everybody here knows Rusty Quill, I'm going to do this just for just in case anyone ever does watch the VOD. You don't stream, maybe someday. Join us. Yes, sorry. I think it's RQ. Yes, there we go. And just also for let's see. Also for the VOD. See, I did all of these. Nope. Hint. There we go. Okay, I did all of these for Touchpad or Touch Portal, and I have nice little icons for, for each different shout out, so I don't have to remember the actual commands because they're buttons. And now Touch Portal is not connecting to OBS, so anyway, oh, you don't have to memorize them at all. That was the reason that I set everything up for touchpad because I can't remember the damn things either. I'm going to make a list, actually, and try to keep these things. And also the exclamation point SO, whoever it is, also works for basically anybody. Okay, well, yeah, the problem comes in when it's almost the same as yours or some other channel that you mod, but it's not quite. So, yeah, that's my problem where I think, do I have a crunchy command or do I not? I don't remember. I do have a dogs command, which basically just links to my Instagram, which is not super exciting. But I do have, also for the VOD, I should have a Discord command, and it seems to work. Yay! Yes, and so yeah, you can tell that I'm slightly verbose there with my commands. Sorry. I try really hard in some other people's chats where I know that they cut out after a certain number of characters. I'm amazed that I haven't actually I haven't gotten nailed more often for that. Yes, exactly. Yeah, Lupa is fabulous for streaming, or sorry, well, for streaming also, but also for modding for everybody. And outstanding mod. And, whoops. And we love our mods. We cannot actually do anything without hitting our microphone though. And it is almost 9 o'clock my time, and I probably should have some dinner. So thank you again, everybody. Stay safe and appreciate it. Take care and hugs if wanted. Okay. Thank you. And bye-bye.